Women play significant roles and contributions in our society. To honor their valuable contribution, we are celebrating the Women's Month this March. It is a time to recognize women's effort in social, economic, cultural, and even political accomplishments. This month long celebration is intended to raise awareness about women's struggles for gender equity and rights. This is also an opportunity for us to reflect on trailblazing women who are breaking the gap for changing fields ranging from science and technology to economics and politics. And this inspires girls and other women all over the world by giving them a voice and opportunity to be more empowered and to be heard. Good afternoon to all our viewers. I'm Pearly A. Espirida, and I will be your host for today. As we celebrate Women's Month, we at I Love Aral launched the I Love Aral or the I Love Women, hashtag I Love Women. This activity includes social media features of inspiring women in various communities in Bicol region. And of course, we will have this knowledge sharing session or the hashtag I Love Women webinar with brilliant women who excelled in the field of arts, education, entrepreneurship, and technology. It is an avenue to recognize the inspiring roles of the women who have played in securing women's rights and building more equitable societies. This webinar is also available on our I Love Oral app, our e-learning platform to keep learning connected to everyone. You can get it through the Google Play Store. So now, to all our viewers, stay tuned and brainstorm your questions since I know that our speaker for today are more than ready to answer them later. So without further ado, let us start our first session. So first, I will be introducing our first speaker this afternoon. So the first speaker that we have is an empowered woman in the field of arts. She's a writer and an English and literature teacher. Many of her works have been published in anthologies both in print and online, including stories for children. As a member of Parasurat Bicolnon Incorporated, an organization of Bicol writers, artists, and cultural workers, her poetry chapbook, Pangaturugan, which means dream, was released in October 2020 as part of its Writer Series 1. She co-founded and has served as artistic director and chief playwright of Teatro Ragayano, a community theater based at the Ragay National Agricultural and Fisheries School in Camarines Sur since 2015. Let's give our virtual clap to welcome our first speaker, none other than Miss Aileen Didea. Hello, ma'am. Hi, ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am. I guess there's no sound. I guess there's a problem with your audio. Hello. Hi, Ma'am Aileen. I guess you can try it again so that you could see if there will be sound or audio. Mm-hmm. No, it's... Hello, Mom. There's still no sound. Maybe it's because of unstable connection or with the device. Hello, Mom. Hi, Ma'am Aileen. Right, so I guess we're having... Okay. Hello, Mom. But we still cannot hear you po. Okay, I guess we're just having a technical difficulty. All right, so I guess since Mom Aileen is having um, a technical difficulty with her audio, I guess we can... All right, so I guess we can have our next speaker. All right, so first I will be introducing our first speaker for this afternoon because Mom Eileen is having a difficulty when it comes to her audio. All right, so now we will be starting this hashtag I Love Women webinar with our first speaker. So she is an empowered woman in the field of education. She has received numerous awards such as Most Outstanding Master Teacher of Sorsogon in 2017, Most Outstanding Teacher of Sorsogon sponsored by Salvador H. Escudero III Foundation, and Best K-3 ELLNP Teacher in 2018. Dangal ng Bayan Awardee, National Level, and Top 4 Metro Bank Search for Outstanding Filipino Teachers in 2019. Napapanahong bayani sa gitna ng pandemya by ABS-CBN in 2020, Global Teacher Prize Awardee by Varkey Foundation in London, and Top 4 Metrobank Outstanding Filipino Teachers in 2021. Natatanging Guro ng Bayan and Antonio Cabangon Chuo Ambassador, Gintong Parangal sa Edukasyon in 2022. And recently, she was awarded as 2023 Filipina Achiever in Rural Education. At present, she is the Division Reading Coordinator in SDO Sorsogon Province. Let's give a big round of virtual claps to Ma'am Michelle D. Rubio. Hello, Ma'am.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Naririnig ba ako?
Yes, Ma'am, you're audible.
You can start while the other is sharing. Okay, so I am Teacher Michelle D. Rubio, presently the SDO Sorsogon Province Division Reading Coordinator. And thank you again, Sir James and Mom Pearly, for this opportunity to share with the audience for this afternoon our achievements, innovations, and advocacies. So I hope our topic will inspire other women to do the same or more than what we are doing. So how can I share my screen?
You can just click, Ma'am, share screen.
This one. Okay. Share this one. Okay, for everyone, so I am Teacher Michelle, I am known as the Pink Demic Teacher this pandemic, because of so many activities I've done to help the learners, to help the community. So as I've said, I am known as the Pink Demic Teacher. Wait, naglo-loading pa siya. And one of my advocacy, tingnan natin. Asa na, nawala na. One of my advocacy is the Pink Demic Class Home. So, masasabi natin bakit ako tinawag na Pink Demic Teacher, because I really love pink. For me, pink is all about love. Pink for me is what's going. Parang hindi gumagana yung aking PowerPoint. Okay? So, eto na, gumana na sa wakas. Okay, so one of my advocacy is out-of-the-box strategy. So when we say out-of-the-box strategy, this is something extraordinary strategies to help enhance the teaching and learning process. So one of this is the Pink Demic Class Home. So kung makikita nyo, this is something extraordinary because of the presence of my reading bed, my reading tent, and other reading nook or corners or places na nilagay natin. So kung makikita nyo, teachers, the learners really enjoy in this corner because they have time for reading and they have also time for siesta. So after reading 15 minutes before the time, meron din po silang siesta time. So look at them. So you can also utilize this. You can also use this in your classroom. And I made also my pink class home as techno class home. So they use microphones in reciting or answering in front of the class. So my purpose here is to develop their self-confidence. So yan, makikita niyo po sa pictures. So they are all excited. At first, they are hesitant to stand up in front of their classmate. Of course, syempre, wala pa po, parang may fear pa silang magsalita. But later on, kapag nasanay na sila, then may confidence na sila sa sarili nila, well, makikita nyo, nag-aagawan na silang magsalita. in front of their classmates using microphones. So that's my way, or one way of developing their self-confidence. And another extraordinary strategy, I made my pink car, I turned my pink car into pink reading car. So they are really motivated to read inside my car kasi they really experience what really inside the car. And during the reading session, the car is on. So yung aircon, nafe-feel talaga nila. So what's my purpose of having this reading inside the car? Para ma-motivate yung mga estudyante natin na someday, somehow, pwede silang magkaroon ng sarili nilang sasakyan. Basta ngayon na nag-aaral pa or maliit pa lang sila, mag-aaral sila ng mabuti. So that's my motivation para ma-experience po talaga nila kung ano yung nasa loob ng sasakyan. Sabi ko nga, it is expensive in my part, but what matters here to me is the learning experience ng mga bata. We don't know the impact of this experience. Malay natin, after ng session na to, sa loob ng aking sasakyan, magsimula silang mangarap na mag-aaral sila ng mabuti para someday somehow makabili sila ng sarili nilang sasakyan. So even before and during pandemic, I am using this. I am utilizing my pink car. By the way, hindi po naka-stop lang po yung car, yung naka-on lang dito ay yung makina and then yung aircon. Pero stationary siya. Okay? So yan, even during pandemic, it's my way of motivating the school children. So during pandemic, pinupuntahan natin yung mga bata nung pwede na tayong mag-monitor sa kanila. So with the consent of ng parents nila, well, pinupuntahan ko po talaga isa-isa yung mga estudyante natin. And another advocacy natin, yung Resort for Learning. This is an innovation in teaching reading. And this is a reading area designed like a garden, highlighted with beach umbrella, and a kubo similar in a beach resort. That's why I call this Resort for Learning. So there are so many reading materials like the alphabets, the Bicol words in Station 1, picture words in Station 2, Marongko approach and family words in Station 4, consonant blend or cluster in Station 5, phrases and sentences in Station 6, and short story in Station 7. And then the objective is to really develop the reading skills of the elementary school children, their love for reading, and to minimize, if not eradicate, the number of non-readers at Calao Elementary School. And this is also the purpose of having the Resort for Learning, is to have alternative venue for reading and learning. So November 2014, kung makikita nyo, dyan nag-start ang aking Resort for Learning. So napakasimple lang, nagsimula lang siya sa made of bamboos. Yan. But because of my passion and interest, talagang na para ma-motivate ang mga bata, I look for stakeholders. And from my own personal resources, talaga po nagbigay tayo. So ngayon, eto na siya ngayon. So that is now our Resort for Learning. At marami pa pong improvement. At this time na meron tayong pandemic, I call this Resort for Learning as the Reading Recovery Area. At hindi lang po ito sa Calao ngayon, even in other places here in Sorsogon Province, Sorsogon City, and other division, and other regions, bali nag-replicate na po ang ating Resort for Learning. So you can benchmark even through social media. Just PM me and I will share to you how to make this Resort for Learning. Yan. So dito, yan. Meron tayong ginagawang mga innovative strategy in teaching reading like the pathway reading. So kung makikita nyo, may mga nakasulat sa pathway at binabasa nila yon before sila magpo-proceed. Pwede rin natin silang lagyan ng mga books and other reading materials. So we call it pathway reading. And we have also the pair reading. So parang may partner yung mga estudyante natin. Okay? And then we have add to cart. So pag sinabing add to cart, ano yung mga babasahin o mga words na hindi pa nila alam basahin, they can pick those words, they can write those words and add them to their notebook or to their cart para pag-aralan nilang basahin. We have also the shopping of words. So yan, magsha-shop sila ng words, ano ba yung mga alam na nilang basahin, ilalagay nila in a piece of paper and then ibabalidate ng teacher. So kung nabasa na nila, ilalagay nila sa kanilang word bank. So ang na-shopping nilang mga words ay yung mga words na alam na nilang basahin. And we have, this is also part of the resort for learning. Ayan. Ayan. So another advocacy is the Sumpundunong project. So this is an extension services conducted for helping the learner gains knowledge. So parang ito yung benchmarking. So Sugpun means extension. So as proponent of those strategies, I am very much willing to share those strategies at yun nga, extension services. So ano yung mga extended services natin na ginawa? So, yan. So, like benchmarking, sabi ko nga, pumunta yung Region 1 last August 6, 2022 sa ating Resort for Learning. At ngayon, meron na rin po silang Resort for Learning doon sa kanilang region. So, yan. Pinakita po natin yung mga strategy. At sila po ang nag-validate para talaga alam nila kung ano ang gagawin. Okay? And then, ito rin ay sa Region 4. Ayan. Yan ang ginaya. Yan ang mga replika ng ating Resort for Learning. And then, nagkaroon din tayo ng home-based library. Before pandemic, yung mga bata, doon sila nag-stay during Saturday, Sundays, and holidays. So, nagko-contact lang tayo ng mga parents na willing na lagyan natin ng mga books ang kanilang mga bahay. And nung magka-pandemic, yung ating home-based library, ginawa nating pink demi corners. Hindi tayo tumigil. Sabi nga since we are celebrating the Women's Month, basta tayo may goal, alam natin kung ano yung purpose ng more projects natin, continue lang tayo. Kahit ano pa yan, kahit pandemya pa yan. So, kahit may pandemic, naglagay tayo ng pink demi corners. So, naiba lang yung manner. Yung mga parents na ang pumupunta para humiram ng mga books. So, dati yung mga bata, yung pumupunta doon sa home base, nung may pandemic tayo, yung mga magulang. And kung makikita nyo, more on laminated reading materials ang nilalagay natin para pag madaling i-disinfect. Pagbalik ng mga parents, madaling i-disinfect. So, hindi matatransfer yung virus. So, 5 pink demi corners ang nailagay natin sa kasagsagan ng pandemya. And we have also Piso Mo Basa Ko advocacy. So, yan. Bawat page, kapag nabasa ng bata, ay binibigyan po natin ng 1 peso per page. At nilalagay natin yan sa alkansya. And meron tayong mga stakeholders dito. And kung wala tayong nakikuhang stakeholders, from our personal resources. And then, naglagay din tayo ng mini library sa barangay hall. So, mas lalong nagamit ito dahil mayroong wifi ito. Kaya kahit may pandemya, nakakapag-connect ang mga estudyante natin. Kasi nasa gitna ng barangay natin ito nilagay. And kasagsagan din ng pandemya, binuo natin ng Pink Senior. This is extending help to the elderly in the community. So giving them foods, groceries, medicines, yung mga face masks, vitamins during the pandemic. So anong purpose natin ito? Para i-avoid natin na i-isolate natin ang ating mga elderly. So, to inspire them to be socially active again. Hindi kasi matatanda na sila, kailangan na natin silang i-isolate. Hindi. Dapat gawin pa rin natin silang productive. And let them feel that they are still important at their age. And so, we should encourage them na maging physically fit and then, so, we help also them by giving foods, groceries, and other needs. So yan ang mga ginawa po nating outreach before and during pandemic. Ayan. So another advocacy I have is the Dugtong Buhay program. So before pandemic, yung mga estudyante natin, ang mga walang baon, walang mga gamit, so pinoprovide natin sila. So they have no reason na hindi sila papasok para dahil wala silang gamit, walang baon. So, si Teacher Michelle palaging meron para sa kanila. Okay? So, extend help and to save life by means of helping some indigent in terms of medical needs. So, pag meron din mga tao, family na pumupunta sa atin para magpatulong when it comes to medical needs. So, kinoconsult natin ang mga kaibigan nating doctors, we connect to our stakeholders. Okay? And during pandemic, hindi tayo nagpatinag. Sabi ko nga, kailangan tulungan natin ang mga magulang. Kailangan tulungan natin ang kapwa natin nanay, kapwa natin babae. Dahil alam naman natin mga kababaihan na pagdating sa mga bata, ang talagang nag-aasikaso sa kanila ay ang mga nanay, tayong mga babae. So with this, Modulab, through Modulab, ano naman itong Modulab? I was giving free snacks sa ating mga estudyante. So pagkuha ng mga nanay ng module, may free snacks na kalaki for 1 week. So at least with this, we can help other nanay, other women na maging matatag sila na tulungan din nilang makatapos at magawa ng mga anak nila ang kanilang mga modules. So it really works. Talagang nag-work ito sa ating mga estudyante. Okay? So nagbigay din tayo ng relief goods giving to indigent family during pandemic. Ayan, under my Project M. At sa kasagsagan din ng pandemya. So imagine ninyo, kung hindi ako naglakas ng loob, lumabas, hindi ako nakita ng LCC Foundation President na si Mr. Tan. So nung nakita niya ako na nagbibigay ng mga pagkain sa bata, nag-iikot, nagbibigay ng mga face shield, alam niyo ba na talagang pinahanap niya ako para mag-donate siya ng 334 bags of 5 kilos of rice for every learner. So imagine ninyo kung ilan ang natulungan nating mga estudyante sa kasagsagan ng pandemya. And it worth 67,000 pesos. So kung hindi ako naglakas ng loob na lumabas, so wala tayong natulungan. So kailangan lang talaga natin ng lakas ng loob para makatulong sa ibang tao, lalo na sa kasagsagan ng pandemya. At alam ko, maraming mga babae ang meron yan. Tayong mga babae, alam kong we don't need to play a role of a masculine para tayo ay sabihing matatag, strong. Kailangan lang nating magkaroon tayo ng goal. Mag-set tayo ng goal, ano ba talagang gusto natin. And then, lumabas tayo sa ating comfort zone. So kung makikita nyo, pwede naman akong magstay sa bahay. But because I want to help, I go out from my comfort zone. So ayan. So marami tayong natulungan. And during also pandemic, imagine niyo nagkaroon tayo ng pabahay. 2 pabahay. At yung mga nakukuha kong mga awards, incentive tokens na cash, hindi yun ay para sa akin. Kasi mga unexpected yun. Bonuses na lang yun. So ang ginawa ko, dahil may mga family noon na talagang kailangan ng bahay, so nagpagawa tayo ng bahay. So look at us. Lahat kami mga babae. So iilan lang dyan ang mga lalaki. So with my encouragement, with my motivation na tumulong sila, so look at them, they help. So sabi ko nga, as empowered women, we must have that goal. We must support one another and we must help each other para makatulong sa iba. So yan, nagkaroon tayo ng 2 pabahay sa kasagsagan ng pandemya. And then during the pandemic also, we extended help sa mga indigent families. And another, isa ko pa pong isang masasabi na I've been a strong woman nung ako ay nag-alaga ng isang indigent learner. So I adopt a learner, a indigent learner, at hindi biro ang pinagdaanan natin dito. So kung makikita ninyo, nagkaroon siya ng accident, bali 3 operation ang in-underwent ng batang ito. And kung makikita nyo, nilagyan siya ng bakal. But as teacher, as woman, as person, hindi ako sumuko dahil alam ko na kailangan ako ng batang ito. So hanggang siya na ito, 2016 at 2019, akala ko okay na ang batang ito, pero nagkaroon uli siya ng malalang sakit sa kidney. So sabi naman sa akin ng doktor noon, let him go dahil wala na daw pag-asa kahit ipa-dialysis ko yung bata, baka on the process, mamatay yung bata. But as a woman, as a mother, I didn't give up. Hindi ko po siya iniwanan, hindi ko po siya binitawan, hindi ko siya nilet go. But instead, tinulungan ko siya. Okay? Hanggang siya ay makagraduate. So, hanggang siya ay binawian ng buhay. So, hindi ko po siya kahit anong discouragement ang sinasabi sa akin ng ibang tao, sinasabi sa akin ng doktor, na bitawan mo na yung bata dahil may pamilya ka rin, may mga anak ka rin. Paano kung yung mga anak mo ang magkasakit at walang-wala ka ng pera? But, sinunod ko kung ano ang sinasabi ng puso ko. Okay? So sabi ko nga sa inyo, I always believe in the power of pink. For me, pink is love. And I love that kid. Napamahal sa akin ng batang yan. Kaya hindi ko siya basta-basta iniwan. So from grade schools up to his wake, nandyan ako para sa kanya. And I could say that I've been a strong woman. Kasi this challenge, this accomplishment that happened in my life really tested my being a teacher, a mother, and a person. And of course, my being a woman. Okay? So, after niyang mamatay, hindi pa rin po ako tumigil. So, isang indigent learner, pinalitan ko siya. Nagkaroon ako ng advocacy and I called it Project M. So ito ngayon, Project M, in memory of my adopted pupil named Manuel. So pinagpatuloy ko ang pagtulong sa mga indigent learners. So si Manuel, isang bata, pinalitan ko siya ng 10. So from one indigent learner, pinalitan ko siya ng 10. And I am providing them free snacks during recess time, nung time na meron pang pasok. 2 sets of school uniform ngayon, during and even this time, and 1 year supply of school supplies. At dinagdagan natin ito ng health kit, yung mga vitamins, mask, and face shields. So, continuous pa po yan. Still sustaining the project. So, last August 30, 2020, nag-launch tayo ng Project M. Kasagsagan niya ng pandemya. So walang makakapigil sa atin, sabi ko nga sa inyo, basta alam natin ang goal natin. Alam natin ang gusto natin. Okay? So nag-launch ako ng Project M. So yan, nagbigay tayo ng free snacks, pagkain, mga vitamins. Then, nagbigay din tayo ng face shield sa 334 na mga bata. Nagbigay tayo ng face mask. At then, I launched a very unique pandemic Christmas party to 200 children. Sabi ko nga, ako ang lumabas. Yan. Kung makikita nyo, in Santa dress. Bakit? Para at least ma-feel ng mga bata na kahit may pandemya, nandyan pa rin si Santa Claus. Okay? So, at meron silang pagkain. At nagbigay din tayo ng groceries sa families. Ayan. Nagbigay din tayo ng mga gifts. Kaya nagtap ako ng mga stakeholders para mag-donate ng mga gifts. Ayan. Meron din tayong Be Jolly Outreach Program sa 100 children. So, imagine niyo kasagsagan ng pandemya na gawa ng isang babae ang mga bagay na yan. Yan. So, yan. And then, meron din tayong nilaunch na Barasa sa Bulod. Since yung mga bata, hindi sila nakakapasok sa school, so ako ang pumunta sa kanilang bahay, sa bundok, para mag-launch ng Barasa sa Bulod. At meron tayong mga dalang pagkain para sa kanila. And then nagtayo rin tayo ng bigasang pangkabuhayan para ang mga nanay sa bundok ay meron silang pagkakainteresan doon, may pagkakabalangan at yung interest ng bigasang pangkabuhayan ay mapupunta sa kanilang mga anak doon sa recipient ng Project M at sa mga iba pang bata na nandoon sa bundok. At nagkaroon din tayo, gumawa rin tayo ng butika sa kabundukan para at least kung may mga sakit ang mga bata sa bundok, ay hindi na mahihirapan ang mga nanay na bumaba. Okay, so those are my advocacies. Okay, so eto naman yung innovations natin para matulungan natin ang mga teachers. Naggumawa tayo ng innovations na improvised reading profile of learners. Alam naman natin kung may nakikinig dito, nanonood, alam ko may nanonood ng mga teachers, alam niyo ba na alam naman natin na wala tayong nire-recordan ng mga reading profile ng mga bata natin at the end of the school year. So gumawa ako ng improvised reading profile form for our learners. So at the end of the school year, dito nilalagay ng mga teachers ang final assessment nila. So if you are interested to this form, kontakin nyo na lang ako because I cannot discuss it here. Kasi medyo kulang tayo sa oras. So I'm just showing you the sample of this improvised reading profile. And from that improvised reading profile, nagkaroon ng guide ang mga teachers to give the proper prescriptions for reading na ibibigay nila sa mga estudyante. Dahil dapat hindi pare-pareho ang mga estudyante natin ng reading or prescriptions for reading na ibibigay. So kung ano ang kailangan, kung alphabet knowledge siya, dapat all about alphabet knowledge lang. Kung mahina pa siya sa reading comprehension, all about reading comprehension. Hindi dapat magkapareho ang kanilang mga reading materials or prescriptions for reading. So yan, dito sa division ng Sorsogon, meron na po kaming individualized reading materials for our learners. At isa pa pong innovation natin, I requested that each school must have a reading recovery area para at least yung mga bata na hindi nagamot ng proper prescriptions for reading, hindi nagamot ng operasyon sa pagbasa, dito nila dadalhin sa reading recovery area. Ano ang ibig sabihin ng reading recovery area? Ito yung area kung saan maraming mga reading materials na pwedeng gamitin ang mga bata. Look at that example. So sa isang school ito na tinawag nating reading recovery area. So diyan magbabasa ang mga bata. So dito sa Sorsogon, meron na kaming 11 established reading recovery area sa bawat school, sa mga schools. Ayan. So nakikita nyo, katulong natin yung mga armies ng school na yan, yung mga armies sa pagpapabasa. Yan. Sa isang school yan. So yan ang mga reading recovery area nila. Ayan. So pinapakita ko lang po sa inyo yung mga samples ng aming reading recovery area. Galing po yan sa ating initiative na proposal na magkaroon ng reading recovery areas ang ating mga estudyante. So because of those innovations, so nasabi na ni Miss Pearly ang ating mga awards. So hindi tayo, sabi ko nga kay Miss Pearly, ang mga awards na yan ay bonuses lang. Bonuses lang yan ng mga ginawa natin. Ang pinakamahalaga, kung paano tayo naging matatag, kung paano tayo lumabas sa ating mga sarili para sa ating comfort zone para makatulong. So yan. So ito yung naging product na featured tayo sa iba't ibang TV network, dito kay Miss Pearly at kay Sir James. So, ang masasabi ko lang po sa lahat ng mga nakikinig ngayon, mga nanonood na teachers, if you can still find your purpose as a woman, just follow what you want, what your hearts desire. Just follow your passion. It will lead you to your purpose, to be an empowered woman. So again, good afternoon, everyone. This is again Teacher Michelle Rubio from SDO, Sorsogon Province.
Wow, thank you so much, Ma'am Michelle. That's a very comprehensive presentation of your advocacies and your programs in the school and in education. All right, so now I guess there will be changes because we will be having the question portion, the Q&A portion after the talk. Is it okay, ma'am? I mean, is it okay to go on with the question and answer portion?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
and thank you so much. All right, so again, let's give a virtual claps to our first speaker. We have here Ma'am Michelle Rubio. All right, so now, I guess the stories of Ma'am Michelle serve as inspiration to my fellow teachers out there who are listening in this session. All right, so now I have here question for Ma'am Michelle. Okay, so first, ma'am, okay, I will be reading this. what are some of the biggest challenges that you faced or faced by women in education, and how can they be addressed?
The
Again,
biggest,
what are some of the biggest challenges faced by women in education, and how can they be addressed?
well, the biggest challenge that we are facing right now is the problem about illiteracy. So as a woman, as a woman, as a teacher, as a mother, dapat we should collaborate. We should help one another. Kasi gaano man kaganda ang mga strategy na ibinibigay sa atin ng ating DepEd officials, if the willingness is not there, if the love for our school children, the love for our children is not there, well, we cannot solve illiteracy. So dapat yung willingness natin, kaya nga palagi kong sinasabi sa mga teachers, kung medyo nakukulangan na yung ating love for our work, our passion for our work, ibalik natin yun. Kailangan nating parang ipa-ignite uli. Kasi it will depend sa mga teachers, ang effort ng mga teachers kung paano natin mapapabasa ang mga bata. So nakadepende kahit gaano kaganda ang mga strategy. Kapag hindi tayo talagang nag-work wholeheartedly, hindi natin ginawa ang part natin as a teacher, well, we cannot cure illiteracy. And keep on innovating. Think of something extraordinary strategies that will help these learners na talagang mapabasa natin sila. Hindi yung, kasi sabi ko nga, nung magbalikan tayo sa school, ang isang pinakamalaking problem natin is yung interest ng mga estudyante natin. So paano natin mawi-win? Paano natin mamomotivate uli ang mga bata? Okay? So first, kailangan motivated muna ang teacher. Okay? Motivated tayo. Okay? So, yun ang una nating dapat gawin para tayo ay matulungan natin ang ating mga estudyante. Make something extraordinary na talagang makaka-attract at makaka-motivate sa interest ng mga bata para sila ay matutong bumasa.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for that. I totally agree with the illiteracy as one of major challenge that one of the major challenges that we have right now when it comes to education, especially after pandemic. And so
Yes.
thank you so much for sharing your answers. All right, so now I have another question for you. What do you think are some of the benefits of having more women when it comes to the leadership positions when it comes to education?
Well, sabi nga, tayo mga babae, meron tayong instinct, women instinct. At kapag nafe-feel natin na nararamdaman natin na ito ay maganda, ito ay nakakabuti para sa lahat. And kapag mga babae yung gumawa at kumilos, I don't know if you will agree with me. Lagi tayong gumagamit ng puso. Lagi nating iniisip na yung kapakanan ng mga bata, ng ibang tao. Because we always have that heart. Hindi, pardon doon sa mga boys na nakikinig, but mas malaki ang puso naming mga babae because we are mothers and we know what is best for our children and we know what is best for our school children.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Yes, I guess when it comes to taking care of children and all the other
Yeah,
aspects, when it comes,
yes po.
I guess yeah, there's a difference when it comes to how women portray their roles, even
Yeah,
inside at home or
there's
in school or even in the community.
I could agree with that.
Yes, ma'am. All right, so for the last question,
Yeah.
here is the last question. How can we promote greater representation of women and diverse perspectives when it comes to the curriculum and teaching materials used in education?
Pardon?
All right, I'll repeat now. Here's the question. How can we promote greater representation of women and diverse perspectives in the curriculum and teaching materials in education?
Well, meron tayong God, di ba? Meron tayong equality. Though, sabi nga, dapat may gender equality tayo. Basta ang pinaka-importante lang na in using these materials, dapat hindi naaapi yung babae. Sabi ko nga kanina na hindi kailangan na masabing strong ang isang babae na para lang mag-role tayo or mag-play tayo ng isang masculine role. Hindi na kailangan yun. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, just know yourself, set your goals, be ready to go out from your comfort zone, be yourself. Okay? Be yourself and do what you want. Ano yung gusto nyo, ano yung alam nyo nakakabuti. Well, if with that, hindi what I mean, using those materials in the curriculum, at least with that teaching, at least mai-inculcate natin sa mga estudyante, magbabae man ito or maglalaki, na it's not about being a man or a woman, but it's how you know yourself, how you contribute to the society, na hindi pwedeng kasyo sila ang mga lalaki, sila yung they are strong, sila yung dapat masunod. Sabi ko nga, as woman, know yourself. And know yourself, inculcate to the children na kasi babae ka, mahina ka. Hindi dapat yon ang ma-impart nating knowledge sa mga bata. Okay? So dapat, babae ka, malakas ka, kaya mo. Basta, alam mo kung anong gusto mo and you are ready to go out from your comfort zone.
All right. Thank you so much, Mom Michelle. That was really an inspiring quote. Babae ka, malakas ka. So you can do whatever you do, especially if you are going to go outside of your comfort zone. So thank you so much, Mom Michelle. Thank you so much for that. Thank you po. All right, so now I guess there will be no more questions for Mom Michelle and of course our empowered woman in education. Let us give another virtual claps to Mom Michelle.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mom. All right, so now that we're done, I guess we can be able to proceed now for our next speaker. All right, so again, I would like to apologize earlier because we had technical difficulty. Yeah. But now we're going to continue with our session. All right, so introduce our second speaker. First, let me introduce the next speaker for this session. Our second speaker is an empowered woman in the field of arts. She's a writer and an English and literature teacher. Many of her works have been published in anthologies, both in print and online, including stories for children. As a member of Para Surat Bicolnon Incorporated, an organization of Bicol writers, artists, and cultural workers, her poetry chapbook, Pangaturugan, which means dream, was released in October 2020 as part of its Writer Series 1. She co-founded and served as artistic director and chief playwright at Teatro Ragayano, a community theater based at Ragay National Agricultural and Fisheries School in Camarines Sur since 2015. Let us give our virtual clap to welcome our next speaker for this session, none other than Miss Aileen Nedea. Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Yes. Finally. Good afternoon. Thank you for taking the time to be with us this afternoon. Thank you, my I Love Aral family. Thank you, Ma'am Pearly. Thank you, Sir James. Let's move on. This presentation is entitled Hulma. Hulma is a mold. So I am looking at the women as molded and molders, or women molding women, or women empowering or lifting up other women. Let's start with the names. You can just only see names. Gusto ko po kasing bigyan ng spotlight yung mga kapwa ko babae na co-collaborators ko. Women who are my mentors and my group mates, my friends, and my family relatives. Sila kasi yung mundo ko. Sila yung kasama ko sa mundo ko. At gusto ko na kung ano man yung naibibigay ng aking arte at literatura at pagtatanghal o performances sa mundo, gusto ko din na makasama ko sila sa stage. Kumbaga. So let's start po. We will start with my mentors. The first slide should be the names of my mentors, women who I read, women who I talked with, women who influenced me. So, pero bago po yun, siguro magkakaroon ako ng disclaimer. I am in my natural environment. It is black out here, so I cannot go anywhere. Black out in my whole town of Ragay. Marami po kayong maririnig na mga tunog at kasama po yan sa a woman artist performing and creating in her natural environment. So ito po yung una nating slides. Gusto ko pong magpasalamat at magbigay pugay sa aking mga mentors. Kasama si Christine Belyan-Ang, isang Bicolana rin, si Merlin de Bubis, si Ma'am Malu Jacob at ang Women Playwrights International Philippines, si Ma'am Jasmine Liana, si Ma'am Susan Severino Lara, si Ma'am Mary Ann Moll, si Ma'am Paz Berdade Santos, at si Ma'am Beverly C. o Ma'am Bebang. Sila po kasi ay mga kasama ko sa pangangarap, kasama ko sa patuloy na paglikha upang maging mas mabuting babaeng manlilikha. So, iniimbitahan ko po kayo na hanapin sila, basahin sila. Nasa social media po sila. Ang ibibigay ko lang po ngayon ay mga pangalan ng mga babae at iniimbitahan ko po ang mga nanonood at nakikinig na tingnan kung ano yung mga nagagawa nila. Bakit sila kasama ko sa aking mundo bilang babae na artista? So, moving on, kasama ko naman po dito sa second part yung aking mga kaibigan at kagrupo, mga co-collaborators. Unahin po natin ang Hagkus Bicolana or Hobby Women. Matagal na po kami magkakasama at parte sila ng buhay ko. Si Lourdes Lubes Nieva ng CBSUA, main campus sa Pili. Si Marisa Redburn, isa siyang collaborator, isang farmer at isang businesswoman. Si Ermina Torres po ay isang court stenographer at siya po ay nag-aaral para maging isang abogada. Isa rin po siyang visual artist. At si Ate Eden Velarde ay isang magaling na parausipon at isa ring magaling na community organizer. So, kasama po sila sa mundo ko at sana po ay hanapin nyo rin sila sa social media. Thank you very much. Next group, please. Ang susunod na slide po ay nagpapakita ng aking dalawang kasama sa Chacha Regayano. Si Annabel Haber po ay ang aming production manager, isa sa aming dalawang production manager, kasama niya si Christy Giranyola. Si Annabel at si Christy ay kasama ko as co-founder, co-founders ko sa Teatro Reggiano, kasama po si Sir Carlos Arejola noong December 27, 2015. At si Church at Imperial po ay kasama namin bilang production designer sa Teatro Reggiano. Ngayon, sila pong dalawa ay co-teachers ko rin. At sila po ay visual artists. At meron po kami innovative project, isang libro po na ilalabas namin very soon. Nagagamitin po namin sa aming mga subjects na English, art, sa grades 9, 10. And we are hoping also that other teachers and other schools will be able to use our innovative book. Ito pong Project All, Art for Lifelong Learning, at Kurit Surat. Ito po ay naglalaman ng mga visual arts ni Ma'am Annabelle at Ma'am Georgette at mga tulang sinulat ko po. So ito po ay process book. At saka ginamitan po din namin ito ng contextualization, localization, and indigenization. It is something to look forward to. So, having said that, gusto ko pong i-shout out ang mga nanonood na mga taga Regay National Agricultural and Fisheries School, ang akin pong mga estudyante sa English 10. Nagko-comment po sila at sana ay magtanong din sila mamaya at sana po ay marami rin silang natutunan sa ating naunang speaker at sa mga susunod pang dalawang speakers. Thank you very much po. Sana po ay maihandog namin sa inyo kaagad ang aming Kurit Surat innovative book. Moving on, we are going to go to the next group. So ito po, I am very proud of this. Kasi po napakagagaling at kahit po mga bata pa at masyado pong mga abala bilang mga guro, ang aming mga kasamang kababaihan sa School Division Office of Camarines Storybook Development Team, ang mga writers and illustrators. Shout out po sa kanila, nanonood po ang ilan sa kanila. At gusto ko po ring ihandog ang aking presentation ngayon sa aming Schools Division Superintendent, si Ma'am Loida Enidea, sa aming LR in charge, si Sir Jerry Masapol, ang aking mga kasamahan sa storybook team, si Ma'am Rima Yocampo at saka po si Sir Jess Gamora at ang aming po mga librarians. Gusto ko pong bigyan ng saludo ang mga sumusunod, si Ma'am Angela Alvea, si Emelu Charmaine Salazar, si Eileen Enciso. Sila po ay mga magagaling na manunulat ng mga kwentong pambata. Nakasama na po sila sa regional at national development contest at they are all winners. At nakasama na rin po ang kanilang mga akda sa Let's Read Book Digital Library. Pwede niyo pong hanapin. Mayroon pong app ang Let's Read at makakapagbasa kayo ng napakaraming mga kwentong pambata. Sina Sarah Claire Saltorio, Agnes Rico at Rita Limhoco. Magagaling po silang mga women storybook illustrators. Gumagamit po sila ng digital art applications. Nananalo na rin po sila at marami pa akong inaabangan ng mga obra nila. So sila po ay nararapat lamang nating bigyan ng pansin at pagpupugay at suporta. Si Ma'am Angela po ay nakapaglimbag ng kanyang aklat, Piso ni Pipo, dahil po sa tulong ng World Vision. Sana po maging available yon. At by the way po, gaya po ni Ma'am Michelle kanina, nagkakaroon din po ako ng mga donation drives para po sa mga pinipili ko pong libraries. At meron din po kaming Bicolana section sa Regay Municipal Library. At meron din po kaming maraming aklat sa Liboro Community Library, sa barangay po kung nasaan ang aming paaralan ng ARNAPS. Isang araw, gusto ko din pong makapagdara ng mga libro kang mga matitibay na mga parasurat, saka mga parakurit na ining mga babae sa SDO Camarines Storybook Development Team para po mabasa kan mga kaakian sa sakuyang banwaan ng Regay. Salamat. Next slide, please. While waiting for the next slide, sana po the audience will be able to start writing or conceptualizing their questions. I'm really excited to answer them. Ini naman po, these are my friends and co-collaborators, visual artists of Bicol. They are really, really very good, and they are really soaring with their art. First off, we have Chris Pregata Gomez. Matagal ko na po siyang nakasama since 2012 at marami po akong collection ng artworks niya. She is my friend. Another close friend is Abigail Bongalonta. Connected siya ngayon sa Camarines Sur National High School at isa siyang magaling at premiadong visual artists. Gumagamit din po siya ng digital art at isa rin siya sa nanalo sa 4th National Storybook Development Competition. 3rd place po yung kanyang Worldless book. So sana nga mabasa rin natin lahat. Lenny Elnedea is my sister. Siya po yung sumunod sa akin na kapatid. Kung ako po ay nagpipinta gamit ang aking mga salita, at kung ako po ay nagtatanghal gamit ang aking katawan bilang isang performer on stage and on film, at nagpipinta po ang aking kapatid na si Lenny gamit po ang kulay at gamit po ang mga recipe at gamit po ang kanyang galing sa paghahalaman. She is a visual painter and also an artist in the kitchen and in the garden. Si Lorna Margate ay isa ring magaling na Bicolana visual artist. Nasa Metro Manila na po ang kanyang art. Meron po siyang Maria series. Ang galing-galing po ng kanyang conceptualization. So, may I invite the viewers, especially my friends and my students, ipakiclick nyo po, hanapin nyo po si Ate Lorna Margate at tingnan nyo yung kanyang Maria series. Si Ma'am Elizabeth Mayor ay isang journalist. May-ari po siya ng isang regional Bicol Daily, ang Bicol Standard, at nagpa-publish po sila every week. Magaling po siyang visual artist at open din po siya sa collaboration. So sana magkaroon ng pagkakataon na may I invite the viewers, the audience to check these ladies out for more information and details on them and on their art. Thank you. Next, please. Ang susunod po natin ay ang mga, next slide will be featuring the literary artists in my world. First off, my pamangkin, based in Albay, Roseville Nidea. Nagsusulat po siya ng mga tula, nagsusulat siya ng mga kwento. Meron siyang magaling na sinulat na creative nonfiction recipe. At hindi lang yun recipe para sa pagluluto ng isang pagkain, kundi recipe din ko para maging manatiling empowered woman na hindi nagpapakahon sa pagtingin ng lipunan. Isang empowered woman na lumilipad dahil may pagmamahal sa puso at pagnanais na makapagsilbi sa lipunan at sa daigdig. At gusto ko rin pong bigyan ng pagpupugay ang mga kasamahan kong manunulat, mga kababaihan ng Parasurat Bicol noon, may mother organization, at ang mga organizations ng mga manunulat sa Catanduanes ng mga kaibigan ko, ang Sorte at ang Bilog. So patuloy lang po sana tayo sa pagsulat. Thank you very much po. Please check these women writers out. Thank you. Si Sir James po at saka si Ma'am Pearly po ang nagpapakita ng aking presentation. Susunod po sa literary artists ay ang mga theater artists. Ako po ay nangarap na maging manunulat. Nangarap po ako na magkaroon ng mga sarili kong aklat sa aking silid-aklatan. Subalit nagkaroon din po ako ng pagkakataon na makapagtanghal. Isa po ako yung stage actor at isang Bicol Independent Film actor. At isa sa mga kasamahan ko ay si Madam Frida, si Madam Julie Vega ng Sining Banwa. At saka po si Ma'am Rhoda na taga Masbate, Dream scene ko po na makapagtanghal kasama itong mga nauna sa listahan ko. Si Ma'am Frida or Julie, si Madam Roda, si Ma'am Bel Borja na based sa Naga at saka si Ma'am Elsie Alvis. At si Ma'am Bel po ay mayroon siyang Sangre de Naga at isa rin po siyang children's theater practitioner. Si Ma'am Elsie Alvis po ay meron namang Teatro de Aliento at makakasama ko po siya sa gaganaping Aligas Creative Writing Workshop po sa April sa Ateneo de Naga University. So patuloy lang po tayo, ay parang hindi na po ako tumitigil. I'm in DepEd, pero meron din po akong cultural works at nakita nyo naman po dito na meron pa ring upcoming na Manay-Manay, the Bicolano Playwrights Festival of Simbanwa on March 30 to April 2, 2023. Kasama po rito yung aking isang play na pangalawang beses itatanghal noong 2020 po ay natanghal siya online kasi pandemya pa tayo. Yung litanya ng mga manggagawa. Na sana po ay mapanood. Panoorin po ninyo kami. May I invite the theater enthusiasts in the whole Bicol. At kahit po malayo kayo sa Bicol, baka naman po pa din nyo kami bisitahin. We will see you po at the Pasacalye Black Box Art Studio in Legazpi City po, March 30 to April 2. Opportunity ko na po mag-plugging, so ginagawa ko na po. Saludo po ako sa mga kasamahan kong women playwrights po sa Manay-Manay. Thank you very much po. Next slide, please. Ito po ay yung mga film artists. Si Direct Jen Romano, director po siya, co-director po siya ng aking Sayaw sa Butal. Available po sa ang Sayaw sa Butal short film, created and directed by Director Victor Dennis Tinierba sa Vimeo. I-type nyo lang po sa Google search bar yung Vimeo at lalabas na po. Saka yung pangalan ko po at sa yung title na Sayaw sa Butal, mapapanood nyo po yung aking 20-minute short film. At saludo rin po sa mga women of the Bicol and Defendant Films. Hardworking at sana po magkaroon ng pagkakataon na bawat isa sa inyo ay maisama ko rin. Again, for the I Love Women, we are sponsored by very much. Let's move on po to the next slide. Americo, after the film artists, what are the common attributes? What are the common attributes of the empowered women? Lahat po sila ay parte ng buhay ko. Lahat po sila ay ipinagdarasal ko na manatili at makapag-iwan ng maraming legacies para sa ikagagaling ng hindi lang ng mga kababaihan kundi ng universe. Kasi they are really doing great work na hindi na nga halos napapansin. Kahit po hindi naiilawan, hindi po nabibigyan ng premyo o awards, patuloy lang po sila sa paglikha. Kasi narito sa kanila lahat itong limang ito. At I am very proud and very grateful na kasama ko sila. At patuloy kaming nagtutulungan upang patuloy na maging empowered creative artists. Inilagay ko po dito sa una, scarred and skilled. Nabasa ko kasi, scarred people are beautiful. Scarred women are beautiful. Lahat po kami may sugat, pero ginagamit po namin yung mga natutuhan namin sa mga sugat na ibinigay ng buhay upang lalong mas gumaling. So we are scarred and skilled. At naisishare namin yung aming galing para mas marami pang kababaihan at marami pang tao na maging magaling sa kung ano man larangan ang pwede namin maitulong o makapagbahagi kami sa kanila. Sa pangalawa po, these women are thrilled and talented. There is joy and creation. At lumalabas po yung galing, yung talent, kasi nga merong laging kasiyahan na makalikha. So, hindi po natutuyuan yung balon ng galing. Hindi po nauubusan ng nililikha kasi nga mayroong joy, mayroong saya, mayroong ligaya. Pangatlo, we are all passionate and purposeful. The purpose-driven life, kumbaga. Passion, nagsimula sa pangarap, nag-ugat at lumago. At habang kami ay nagtatalubo, kumbaga sa Bicol, while we are growing, we are also being enriched by the environment, by the people around us, by our world, and by our co-collaborators. So mas nagagatungan yung apoy the more that we remain passionate. At siguro nga, there will be no stopping us. Kasi laging kailangan na merong nag-aapoy na pagnanais na makapagbahagi. To join in the fight for the better world. Kumbaga, sabi nga ni po kasarang mentor na si Merlin de Bubis, na si Daragang Magayon, the Bicolana, we are not just inside the four walls. We are out there. We are marching. We are fighting for the common good. We are also anchored and rooted, nakagamot, nakaugat. Pag kami ay lumilikha, we are giving tribute to our Bicol and Filipino aesthetics, to our Bicol and Filipino sensibilities, consciousness, memories. Lahat ng ito ay nagagamit namin. So we are writing, we are creating, we are performing the here and the now. Isinusulat po namin, ikinuguhit namin, itinatanghal namin ang aming ngayon at dito. The here and now. So, kapag nagsusulat, kumbaga kung nagsusulat ako, I write Ragay. I write Camarines Sur, I write Bicol, I write the Philippines. At dahil available naman sa internet yung mga nalilikha namin, so nararating namin ang kahit saang sulok ng mundo at sana magpatuloy pa ito. So kasi kaya nga po nagagawa namin lahat ng ito because we are evolving. Evolving, nagdadanay, gaya ng tubig, kahit may sagka, kahit may hadlang, kami ay humahanap ng paraan upang makapagpatuloy. I always say this, we are evolving, we are continuing. Nagpapadagos kami, kawasa, nagpapadangat kami. May kwenta kasi may kwento. May kwenta ang mga babaeng manlilikha dahil may kwento ang kanilang buhay at ang kanilang mga akda. Pagpupugay po sa lahat ng mga kababaihan na nasa listahan na ito. At gusto ko rin po magpasalamat sa isang matalik na kaibigan na akin din pong inspirasyon. Hindi siya nakasama sa listahan na ito, pero mahal ko siya at kasama siya sa buhay ko. Siya po ay si Eileen ng Ilocos Region. Makikita niyo po ang mga akda niya sa Liwayway, sa Bisaya at sa Banaag Magazine. Gusto ko rin pong magpasalamat sa isang kaibigan, si Ma'am Bless Bernstein, at saka isa pang idolo, si Ma'am Cynthia Buwisa. Sana po nakakapakinig kayo at nakapanood kayo. Please check these women out for more details. Okay na po. Salamatun po.
All right, thank you so much, Ma'am Aileen. And once again, let us give a round of virtual claps for Ma'am Aileen. Thank you so much for sharing your story and at the same time together with all those artists who can serve as our inspiration. So now, at this point, I guess we can have our Q&A, Ma'am. Is that okay with you?
Yes po.
All right, so for our first question, all right, so we have here, what unique challenges do women face in pursuing careers in arts, and how can they be addressed? Again, ma'am, this is the question, the first question. What unique challenges do women face in pursuing careers in art? and how can they be addressed?
Araw-araw po namin kasama at nakakaharap ang mga pagsubok. These challenges seem to be never ending, and somehow we are able to meet them and then conquer them and continue with our arts. First po, yung time constraints. We are all having day job. Lahat po kami may day job. Let's face it. We have responsibilities, financial needs that the art cannot meet always. So, siyempre, kailangan namin magtrabaho. Pero dahil nga, passion namin to, literally, ito ang nagbibigay ng buhay sa amin. So, nagagawa namin siya. Aside from the time constraint, yung support po, especially coming from the locality, ang hirap humanap ng support. At patuloy kami nananawagan sa aming mga respective local government units, mga dear mayors, mga dear chairpersons of the arts and culture and education committees ng mga LGUs, ng mga kababaihan. Tulungan naman po ninyo kami para po makapagpatuloy kami. Because let's face it, the humanities, the arts are really a big, crucial part of our cultural education. Ito po ang nagbibigay sa atin ng pagkakataon na maging mas mabubuting tao at mamamayan. So, paano po namin yun na nalalampasan? Support. Women supporting women. At meron pa rin naman po naniniwala sa amin, gaya ngayon, may mga kabataan, may mga estudyante tayo, mga nanonood na naniniwala. At sila, may mga pangarap din sila. Special mention ako kay Joy Giriba at kay Chick Santos. Na kahit gaano kahirap, kahit dumadaan din sila sa mga maraming tanong, nagpapatuloy silang magsulat ng tula at mag-compose ng mga awitin. At natutuwa ako dahil nakaugat sila sa Barangay Liboro ng aming bayan Seragay. At gusto ko rin pong ituloy-tuloy yung collaboration. Matatag kami kasi lagi kaming naghahanap ng collaboration. At sana po, please allow me, I love Aral family. Magsi-shoutout din po ako sa mga top brass na Schools Division Office of Camarines Sur. Meron po tayong Bicol Theater Groups. Bigyan niyo po kami ng pagkakataon na makapagtanghal at madala namin sa tanghalan sa buong lalawigan o sa buong Bicol po ang aming arte sa tanghalan. Salamat!
All right, thank you so much, Ma'am. I guess we can be able to encourage everyone to also support, especially this women artists. Thank you so much for that, Ma'am. And also, we have here another question. So, what do you think are the ways can women artists use their art to promote social and political change?
Ayun. Okay na, Ma'am. Pwede
Yes,
pong sagutin. Sige po. Nagchat-choppy kasi kanina pero nakuha ko na po ngayon. Ayun, ang napakadami pong platforms at kami po ay hindi nahihiya. Hindi kami nahihiya na ipaalam sa daigdig. Kasi this is also us. We are advocates. So we really use our art to send our messages across. Una po, meron tayong yung mga teachers, yung mga women artists who are teachers also. We use the classrooms. Meron po kaming paraan para ma-inject po namin yan sa aming mga aralin. At may mga competencies po na provided ng Department of Education, ng CHED, at saka ng alternative educational platforms na nagbibigay rin po ng pagkakataon na mailawan din po yung mga art forms sa region at sa country natin. So meron po dyan sa school. Meron din po tayo sa, of course, community theaters, ang Teatro Ragayano po, gagawa namin yung teatro sa kalsada, teatro sa Riles, teatro sa terminal, teatro sa Baybayon. Talaga po nag-perform kami, basta may ilang nagtitipon-tipon dyan, nagagawa po namin yan. Meron tayong magagandang collaboration sa Naga City at saka sa Legazpi. At sana madala pa sa ibang parte ng bansa. At meron din po tayo sa social media. So, used responsibly and appropriately, the social media indeed is a very powerful tool. Kasi po, nakikita sila ng mga kabataan. who will be the next generations of women artists na sana po kasama sa ma-inspire ngayon ng ating I Love Women webinar. Yun po.
Okay, thank you so much, Ma'am. I hope to all our viewers, you can be able to visit the pages of those personal artists that Ma'am Aileen already mentioned, because we also encourage everyone to be inspired with their stories. And for the last question, Ma'am, this is the last question. Okay, so how did women's contribution, the arts, evolve throughout the history, and what impact have they had on the field?
Okay po. Patuloy po siya. Siguro, kung magbabasa, or available naman po sa Google at sa other internet sites po yung history ng women artists evolution. So, mulat sa poll po, meron na po tayong sining. Nakakatulong po yung mga sinulat. Not only women are writing about women. Traditionally, men wrote about women. So kasama po natin kasi sila. Sila yung merong ilaw noon. Sila yung binigyan ng karapatan at pagkakataon noon na magsulat. At nakakatuwa na merong mga lalaki na nagsusulat sa mga babae. I have a paper po entitled Feminism and the Bicol Literary History. At na-publish po ang isang parte nun sa aming libro. Sa libro po ni Sir Richard Madrilejos. Ang pangalan po ng libro ay Sulo, Chetrong Bicol noon sa panahon kan pandemya. So, meron pong nabanggit doon at sinulat ko rin po talaga na sa Bicol region lamang ang daming mga kalalakihan na nagsusulat tungkol sa mga kababaihang mga artista. So, isang paraan po yun. Isa pa po, may mga co-collaborators po kami na members ng LGBTQ family at saka mga kalalakihan. So nakatutulong po sila upang mapalaganap ang mga nagagawa at nalilikha ng mga kababaihan. At meron po tayong mga tinatawag na literary traditions at meron din po tayong tinatawag na literary theories at critical articles. Nababanggit po sa mga yon kung gaano kagaling, kung gaano ka-effective, gaano ka-impactful ang mga nasusulat at nalilikha ng mga kababaihan. So, sabi ko nga po, hindi natin mako-cover lahat sa isang oras o kalahating araw na webinar. May I encourage all the viewers, kahit po yung mga makakapanood pagkatapos ng aming live, kasi magiging available po ito sa I Love Aral YouTube channel, na makinig, balikan ang aming mga naibahagi. And please do some research on your own. At the end of the day, we just inspire you. We just push you. We just show you something that we enjoy doing or watching. And it's up to you to continue your journey along these lines. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Ma'am. Yes, I totally agree that, from this webinar, or if they're going to go back with this after this live webinar, they can be able to be inspired with the different stories of the women featured in this I Love Women webinar. So for those who are watching, stay tuned. And of course, we're still having 2 more speakers for this afternoon. All right, so let us give another virtual round of claps for Miss or Ma'am Aileen Nidea. Thank you so much, Ma'am. All right, so now we are down to our third speaker for this afternoon. So our third speaker is an empowered woman in the field of entrepreneurship. She is the Trade Industry Development Specialist and Provincial Public Information Officer of DTI Camarines Sur. and also a special program officer for Kapatid Mentor Me program of DTI and Philippine Center for Entrepreneurship. He was awarded the Huwarang DTI 5 Gawad ng Direktor Sprints Award in 2020. She is an expert in business and accounting fields with relevant experiences as trade and industry development analyst and specialist from 2015 up to the present time. Let us give our warm welcome to Miss Madel A. Alacar. Hello, ma'am.
Hello, good afternoon, Miss Pearly and everyone. May I check if my voice is audible?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so may I now share my screen? All right, so before anything else, thank you so much to iLab RLT, Miss Pearly, and of course, Sir James for inviting us, DTI Camarines Sur, to celebrate with you this Women's Month celebration. So happy Women's Month po sa lahat. So I'll be sharing with you all about women in entrepreneurship this afternoon. And let me share my screen now. I hope you can now see my screen. Okay na po ba, Miss
Yes,
Pearl?
ma'am. Yes, Miss Madel.
All right. So once again, happy Women's Month to everyone. And congratulations in advance for I Love Aral for organizing this event to empower our women audience today. So by the way, I'm Madel Alacar of DTI Camarines Sur, or Department of Trade and Industry Camarines Sur Provincial Office. I'm currently a Trade Industry Development Specialist and also the Provincial Public Information Officer of our agency. So this afternoon, I'll be sharing with you women in entrepreneurship. So I'll be talking about also the services and programs of DTI that our women entrepreneurs can avail of. And of course, I'll be sharing with you the personal entrepreneurial competencies that I hope that our aspiring women entrepreneurs here can learn and be kumbaga possess the na pwede nyo ma-possess para po maging isa kayong successful entrepreneur. So let me start my presentation. So I'll introduce to you first who DTI is. So DTI is we enable business and empower consumers. So actually, the mandate of DTI is our agency is responsible for realizing the country's goal of globally competitive and innovative industries and services sector that contribute to inclusive growth and employment generation. Of course, kasama na po yung ating women entrepreneurs when it comes to the contributor in our economic growth. And when it comes to business or sa pagnenegosyo naman po, DTI promotes income opportunities through comprehensive development and promotion programs for MSMEs. So when we say MSMEs, sila po yung ating mga micro, small, and medium enterprises. So yan. So let me walk you through to our major divisions. We have two. We have the Business Development Division where I belong currently. So we're responsible for implementation of programs that contribute to the development of the business here in Camarines Sur. And for Consumer Protection Division, of course, from the title itself, they implement programs to protect our consumers through information and advocacy program. They're also the division responsible for the implementation of the fair trade laws, yung ating pong price monitoring na under po ng DTI. So just to make sure po na yung ating mga consumers are well protected when it comes to the basic and prime commodities under DTI, na talaga pong yung SRP, yung inyong mabibili, and wala po mag-overprice sa ating pong SRPs. And of course, our division also empowers our consumers to be more vigilant consumers para po maiwasan po natin yung mga scams, right? And for the Business Development Division, ito po yung aming mga programs. We render business consultancy services for existing and aspiring entrepreneurs. And of course, we do implement trainings and seminars. Usually we under the training and seminar po, we have entrepreneurial seminars and skills training. So capacity enhancement training for our existing, and meron din po tayo for aspiring entrepreneurs. And we also have this BMBE, or the Barangay Micro Business Enterprise. This is actually one of our programs to help those starting MSMEs, kumbaga, take off their business. So the BMBE is actually kumbaga, created to help our MSMEs, especially the micro entrepreneurs or enterprises, kasi may mga incentives po yan, like you can be exempted from the income tax with BIR. So that's one of the incentives when you register as a BMBE. Then we also have marketing activities and promotions. Of course, nandyan na po yung ating trade fair. Alam ko na yung iba sa inyo, or most of you is very kumbaga aware kung ano yung nangyayari sa mga trade fairs. Of course, we promote the products of our MSMEs, and of course may mga selling dyan. Kasi yung main purpose naman talaga ng trade fair is to generate sales, and of course to promote the products of our MSMEs. And aside from that, meron din po tayong mga, of course, prior to pandemic, mas sanay tayo to sell or do business with face-to-face. But you know what, hindi lahat, wala naman pong, di ba, naging prepared sa pandemic. But during the time of pandemic, syempre ang daming limitations and restrictions when it comes to the implementation of programs. But we believe that during that time, nung time na yon, dapat mas kailangan ng ating MSMEs ang tulong. So we were able to implement COVID response programs. So isa na po dyan yung aming provision of livelihood kits to our MSMEs to help them sustain and restart their business during and amidst the pandemic. And of course, yung sa trade fair po, mabalik ko lang po yung topic sa trade fair, kasi prior to pandemic, we're conducting face-to-face trade fair. However, during 2020, kumbaga, we were able as well to create innovative strategies on how we can promote the products of our MSMEs in a situation like pandemic. So we were able to launch the omgainsa.com. So it's actually a digital platform website, and now it's available already via app. You can download it on Android for those Android users. So nandun po lahat ng mga products ng ating mga MSMEs. So kahit po wala po tayong physical fair during 2020, we're able to, kumbaga, promote and market the products of our MSMEs through this innovative digital platform. So you can visit our website, omgainsa.com, or download the app through the Android or Play Store. So yan po, no? So ang dami po nating marketing activities. So and of course, I can speak a lot of marketing activities, but yan na muna po for now. And last but definitely not the least, in our core process under the business development division, we have the trade and industry information, wherein we provide data to our requesting parties, usually when it comes to business, kailangan nila for research or business purposes. Next, we move on to our consumer protection division. So we provide business name registration. So alam naman po natin na pag sole proprietor or isa lang po yung owner ng business, sa DTI po kayo magpaparegister ng inyong business name. So that's one of our core process under consumer protection division. And maidagdag ko lang po for clarity, when it comes to partnership naman po or corporation, magpaparegister po kayo niyan sa Securities and Exchange Commission. And of course, pag cooperative naman po kayo, engaged in business, you have to register your name with the Cooperative Development Authority or CDA. So sa DTI po, yung mga sole proprietor or single proprietor type of ownership ng business. So we also do consumer education advocacy. And ma-share ko lang, although nasa later part pa ito ng presentation, yung consumer education advocacy po ng DTI Camarines Sur is under the brand of EduConsumer, wherein we educate our consumers when it comes to their consumer rights and responsibilities. And actually, just yesterday, DTI Camarines Sur partnered with Santa Club of Naga and Camarines Sur, and they conducted EduConsumer for women solo parents. So talaga po, this is part of the Women's Month celebration this March. So nangyari po yan sa Robinson's Place, Naga, yesterday. And for number 3 naman po, we do price monitoring and implementation of fair trade laws. Then we cater also consumer complaints. Dapat po consumer, hindi business. So dapat consumer to business complaints, not business to business. And and of course, sales promotion. So meron po tayo yan mga registration para po legal po yung ini-implement ng mga businesses na sales promotion campaigns. And maiwasan po yung mga scams na nanalo kayo pero wala naman pong permit yung mga promotion campaigns na kumbaga in-implement ng isang establishment. So this is also for the protection of the consumers. And number 6 po, we also do accreditation for the service and repair enterprises. So just to share with you, here are the priority industries in Camarines Sur. So we are assisting MSMEs under the processed food sector. So yung ating po mga processors ng processed food here in Camarines Sur. So mostly po, if you're familiar, kumbaga we are maximizing the resources available here in Bicol region or in Camarines Sur. Number 1 na po dyan yung ating mga pili products na dito lang po sa Bicol region matatagpuan. So from a mere toasted pili nut or glazed pili nut, alam niyo po na through the product development initiatives conducted by DTI and other government agencies or our partners, nakadevelop na po tayo ng various na mga products, innovative products that are competitive naman po sa ating global market. And so wearables and home style, nandiyan na po ang ating mga sinusuot na mga products. Like we have our slippers. Yung slippers po natin na famous po sa San Fernando, Camarines Sur is the Aga slipper. So yan po yung ginagamitan po ng mga seagrass na braided. And if you're familiar po, meron din po tayong famous na hand-woven fabric here in Camarines Sur. So it's called inabol or hinabol na available po and made in Buhi, Camarines Sur. So if meron pong Inabel ang Ilocos, meron din po sa Baguio City, meron din po tayong inabol product dito po sa Buhi, Camarines Sur. So there's a lot more wearables and homestyle product. And just to share with you po pala, under the homestyle sector, DTI Camarines Sur is actually the bamboo champion, recognized by the DTI Region 5. So dito po sa Camarines Sur, meron na po tayong available na engineered bamboo products. So when it comes to this engineered bamboo products, hindi na lang po siya yung normal na vina-varnish lang ng mga bamboo products. So it's infused na po siya with technology, since we also provided equipment na ginagamit po when it comes to producing engineered bamboo products. So meron na po tayong mga bamboo speakers and yung mga design po ng ating mga furniture manufacturers in Bulacan, Camarines Sur talaga kumbaga can compete to the modern designs of those available in big companies like IKEA. And of course, bamboo. Then also, one of the priority industries in Camarines Sur is the information and communications technology sector. So, of course, yung ating pong mga ICT players talaga plays a significant role in the recovery of the economy these days. You know naman po na during the time of pandemic, ang hirap pong lumabas. And if you can remember, we can order food via mobile apps, lalo na po dito sa Camarines Sur and Naga City na talaga pong readily available yung ating mga local digital delivery platforms. So malaking tulong po yung naibigay nila during the pandemic since hindi tayo masyadong na-expose sa risk of having been contracted with the COVID-19 pandemic since with this type of innovative solutions that our ICT players was able to introduce or offer to the market, then we were able to avail of that services without going out of our houses or office establishments. So ang laking tulong. And just to share with you, hindi lang po tayo limited to mga delivery or marketing platforms kasi just to share with you, actually si Sir James Ern Esperida, one of the kumbaga team members of the I Love Aral is my new assisted client under the ICT, wherein si Sir is actually one of our beneficiaries of the Pangkabuhayan sa Pagbangon at Ginhawa project, wherein we provided livelihood kit under the information and communication technology, worth around 10,000 din po yan. So yung platform naman po ni Sir James or ng I Love Aral is actually a knowledge sharing digital platform, right, Miss Perlina? We can connect to the different researchers from different parts of the world. So you know what, ang grabe talaga, limitless, unlimited yung opportunities when it comes to the ICT industry. And for the tourism support sector, we also cater mga resorts, mga spa, wellness, and travel agency po under the tourism support sector. And for our metalworks, yung mga fabricators po, and gumagawa po ng mga metalworks here in Camarines Sur. And next po. Okay po, this is also under the DTI banner programs. We have our negosyo centers. Actually, as of this speaking, we already have 27 negosyo centers across Camarines Sur out of the 37 municipalities here in Camarines Sur. Actually, we are the biggest province in Bicol region with 37 municipalities, and we are also the most numbered province when it comes to the establishment of negosyo center. So ano ba tong mga negosyo center po ng DTI? So ang purpose po ng negosyo center is to make the services and programs of DTI accessible to our MSMEs and to our clients. So that's why we're able to establish negosyo centers in municipalities so that yung ating pong mga kliyente ay hindi na po kailangan pang mag-travel all the way from Del Gallego, from Seruma, from Balatan, just to avail of our services. So it's a one-stop shop for that caters business and consumers needs. It's actually parang a satellite office of DTI located in various municipalities, actually across the country. So if ever po you have you need to inquire when it comes to your business concerns, or meron po kayong gustong malaman sa pagninegosyo, or anything under the DTI service po, pwede po kayong dumulog sa pinakamalapit na negosyo center sa inyong munisipyo. Pwede nyo pong ma-check kung saan na pong mga munisipyo available yung aming negosyo centers sa aming pong official Facebook page na DTI Camarines Sur. So for our next project naman po, ayan, eto po pala yung map kung saan meron na po tayong negosyo center. So we have already 27. So yan, makikita niyo po, hindi ko na po babanggitin isa-isa. And yan po yung services na pwede nyo ma-avail sa aming pong opisina and of course sa ating pong mga negosyo center. So we have business registration assistance, business advisory services, business information, and advocacy. So yung ating pong mga business counselors po ng DTI na designated po sa ating mga negosyo centers can provide these services. So Sa ating pong other surveys, they also conduct product development activities, trade promotion and marketing assistance, financing facilitation, investment promotion, SME counseling, and others po. So lahat na po na pwede nyo ma-avail sa DTI ay available na din po sa aming mga negosyo centers. Ito po yung sample ng aming business name certificate and yung pong nabanggit ko kaninang BNBE Certificate of Authority. Yung business name certificate po is very minimal lang po yung inyong registration fee. Depende po sa territorial scope or yung tinatawag po natin na geographic scope ng inyong negosyo. So it is also, valid for 5 years. Actually, yung DTI certificate po yung pinakamura sa lahat ng permits na pwede nyo pong ma-avail. And of course, yung BNBE Certificate of Authority wherein meron po kayong incentives na pwedeng makuha are actually free. Wala po itong charge. Then, ito po yung some of the photos during the business advisory services of DTI. So yan, coaching sessions, product packaging and trademark development, and financing forum. Lahat po yan nakakandak din po sa ating negosyo center. Yan, ito po yung ating mga sample ng ating entrepreneurial seminars. Yan pong BEST or Business Expense Savings Training and Business Plan Preparation Seminar. Yan, ito po yung ating iba pa pong mga photos. Yan. And mostly po ng aming mga participants talaga ay mga kababaihan. And actually, majority of the business owners here in Camarines Sur are actually women entrepreneurs. So talagang grabe yung dedication ng ating mga women na entrepreneur when it comes to learning. So kumbaga yung mga naunang speakers all about parang sa education naman po and of course sa art. Dito naman po when it comes to entrepreneurship, talagang nangunguna pa rin po yung ating mga kababaihan. If you can notice po dito sa picture, halos isa lang po yung ating participant na lalaki. So yan, mostly po talaga mga kababaihan. We also have this shared service facility project na pwede pong gamitin ng ating mga entrepreneurs na located po sa iba-ibang munisipyo dito sa Camarines Sur. Ito po naman is i-highlight ko lang since I'm the provincial account officer for the ICT sector here in Camarines Sur. We were able to actually establish the first ever shared service facility under the ICT sector last November 2021. So it's actually the Digital Incubation Center, a shared service facility for the information and communications technology MSMEs in Iriga City. So sa Iriga City po, meron po tayong ICT building. Actually, yung picture po na nakikita nyo is the actual building where the Digital Incubation Center was established. So we provided high-end computers na pwede pong magamit ng ating mga ICT players. Lalong-lalo na po is dominant po sa Iriga City yung mga nasa business process outsourcing. Meron po tayo dyan mga players under the IT BPM companies. And of course, we have as well animators and of course, startup players in the digital sector. Ito po is first establishment po sa buong Bicol region. Dito po sa Camarines Sur. So, ito po yung mga activity na nakonduct na po. Actually, this is the photo po sa Digital Incubation Center. So, yan. Nag-conduct po kami actually ng livelihood seeding program wherein we provided po ICT kits to our MSME players in Iriga City. So, kung makikita niyo po, we provided po yung ating office working chair, headset, HD webcam, and of course po yung ating portable Wi-Fi na talaga pong magagamit ng ating mga ICT players when it comes to doing their business operations. So ito po yung yung ating mga photos during the activity wherein we also invited resource speaker under the ICT sector. So yan, ito po, with the support as well of our Provincial Director, PDJ Percival Ablan, together with the head of the Office of the City Planning that is assigned to the ICT Industry Development Programs of Iriga City, Engineer Cynthia Audal, together with the City Administrator, Attorney Wafarina. And of course, we also have this special program of DTI. Is actually a national program being implemented regional and provincial level. So we have this Kapatid Mentor Me program, Money Market Encounter, or what we call the KMME. So it's actually a partnership of DTI with the Philippine Center for Entrepreneurship, wherein we conduct mentoring sessions for our MSMEs. And of course, yung ating po mga mentors are hindi lang po basta-basta mentors kasi they are accredited by the PCE Go Negosyo. So usually po yung mga mentors dito are actual entrepreneurs. Yung mga nagtuturo po ng ating mga modules kasi it's actually a comprehensive mentorship program on all the aspect of business operations. And just to share with you, the batch 1 last 2021 was actually women's sector. So shinare ko po sa inyo yung poster on screen para makita niyo po yung ating mga graduates ng ating women's sector KMME program last 2021. And of course, we do marketing activities. We were able to launch our local trade fair brand, Feria de Camarines, which features different series. And of course, i-highlight ko lang po yung Pusteriosa. This is actually under the wearable sector of DTI, wherein we promoted all the products of our MSMEs under the wearable sector. And also we already conducted a fashion show wherein we promoted Hinabol fabric in a kumbaga glamorous designs of our local designers. So this year po, lahat po ng series meron po tayong delicioso under processed food, muebles po for our bamboo and furniture sector. We also have Nuevo Negosyo for our negosyo center assisted clients. We also have Umausbong, Feria de Camarines featuring Umausbong for our agripreneurs under the Comprehensive Development Program of DTI Camarines Sur. And of course, yung ating pong Coco, La Vida Coco for the coconut industry players. So eto naman po, other PPG Award Day, kung Startup 101 happened during the first ever Bicol Digital Congress implemented by DTI, of course, in partnership with the local government unit of NAGA, NEDA, Bicol TBI, and of course, the Metro Naga Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So yan po yung mga kits na binigay namin. And yan, nangyari po yan last December 7 to 9, 2022 at the Avenue Square, Naga City. So ito po yung some of the snaps during the Bicol Digital Congress na yung ating po mga players po under the ICT are composed of women founders and entrepreneurs under the information and communication sector. So yan po yung ating mga players. And ito po yung setup ng ating exhibit. Yan po yung ating mga exhibitors na mostly talaga po mga women entrepreneurs na hindi naman po talaga nagpapatalo when it comes to ICT sector. So yan, step. We were also, I was also the moderator during the panel discussion on Business X Digital, Amplifying Your Business with Tech during the Congress last December 7 to 9, during the Bicol Digital Congress in Avenue Plaza Hotel. And I'm also one of the panelists joining this abled speakers from Manila. We have here August 2, the Program Associate of Startup Development Program, Miss Aya Hernandez of the Startup Program and Community Manager of Brain Sparks. And of course, eto naman po si Raymond Joseph Roscas, actually a startup based here in Camarines Sur. Together, of course, with the President of HACA, Mr. Ronald Rodriguez. If the time permits, I hope I think pwede pa naman pong i-share to just to pwede pa Miss Pearl, I have here the video para at least for those aspiring women who would like to venture into business, whether in food, wearables and home style, or even in tech. Ito kasi more of the tech. So I hope you could be inspired by this video.
These next 3 days will surely be a turning point for us as we mark it as the first in the history of our region, the holding of this Bicol Digital Congress 2022.
Diba? I already told you that the industry is structured. So, yung pasok nyo dapat structured din.
Sino yung target market ninyo? How are you gonna give them the product that they want? And lastly, kailangan nyo tingnan kung ano ba yung nagkakaroon ng value for them.
This sure is a landmark event that will launch even further the ventures of our businesses, services, and our startup ecosystems as we will be getting it straight from our distinguished speakers in the different sessions of this Congress.
Know yourself more. Kasi when you come into this, into being an entrepreneur, mas mahirap kesa sa magtatrabaho ka as an employee. Definitely.
All right, so that's the SDE video of the Bicol Digital Congress na launch po natin last December 7 to 9 here in Camarines Sur. So as public information officer naman po, we do radio program campaigns, social media management, media relations through interviews and pickups, and of course, press release. And i-promote ko na din po, we have these 2 radio programs entitled Trabaho, Negosyo, Consumer. So we do kumbaga, radio program episodes on business and consumer. Every second and fourth Tuesday of the month po, nandyan po kami sa Radyo Caritas Marie. Actually, it's 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And dito naman po sa isa, sa aming pong partner na FMR University FM, sa PSUB Broadcast Center, it's every first and third Friday of the month naman po, every 10:30 a.m. So, I hope po you'll tune in on our radio programs para po we share kasi po mga all about business. We also feature actually mga successful entrepreneurs in our programs. Just like this month po, we featured a womanpreneur under our processed food sector. We have Ma'am Salve SL San Juan, the owner of FSJ Pasalubong Central and the owner of Golden Mama brand for her bottled products. So si Ma'am V po is actually a very inspiring woman na talagang pong naabot niya po yung kung ano man po yung status niya ngayon sa pagnenegosyo. Talagang pinagdaan niya na naman po yung lahat ng challenges sa pagnenegosyo for more than 20 years. And you can go back po to our episode last March 3. Nandiyan naman po yan sa official Facebook page ng DTI Camarines Sur, so that you get to know more about the episode, and of course you get to be inspired by the story of Ma'am Salve San Juan na talaga naman pong sabi nga niyan is it's not too late para po magnegosyo, or it's not too late to succeed, di ba? Age doesn't matter talaga in all aspect of our lives. And of course, ito po yung March 2023 calendar of activities namin. Actually, patapos na po yung March. And you can just check our official page na para po sa aming mga activities and upcoming activities this April, kasi we are posting on our social media account our monthly calendar of activity. And of course, ito pong aming posters. Shinare ko po sa inyo earlier na nagkandak po kami ng Consumer for solo parent women in partnership with Santa Club of Naga and Camarines Sur. Dyan po yan sa atrium ng Robinson's Place, Naga. And eto po, I'll be sharing with you lang po mga inspiring na mga women entrepreneurs. Just like po yung nakikita nyo sa screen, actually, Miss Melanie Perkins is one of our, kumbaga, the woman of the hour in this digital age. Kasi si Miss Melanie Perkins is actually an Australian billionaire, technology entrepreneur, who is the Chief Executive Officer and co-founder of Canva. If you know Canva, I know naman po na, especially when it comes to ating pong mga teachers, ano po talaga, sanay na kayo to use Canva. And it's really good na you get to know this technology when it comes to doing your presentations, kasi kailangan nyo mag-keep up din sa needs ng inyong mga students. And Perkins is one of the youngest female CEOs of a tech startup valued over an Australian dollar of 1 billion. So as of May 2021, Perkins was one of the Australia's richest women. And just a trivia, do you know what? Very inspiring din po itong si Miss Melanie Perkins, kasi kumbaga kahit siya na yung one of the richest Australian women sa country nila, hindi niya talaga nakakalimutan to give back. Actually, yung atang portion or profit of the company will be used to donate in a foundation. So, kumbaga yung Canva is talagang one of the successful tech startup na launch po in Australia. And I hope po we can replicate another Melanie Perkins here in the Philippines. I hope one of our audience will be that person. But I'm just sharing this to inspire our women entrepreneurs na you can do so much. Hindi kumbaga yung ating mga women entrepreneurs ngayon are very kumbaga innovative and dedicated and passionate when it comes to technology. Kasi 'di ba, prior years usually yung ating mga nakikilala when it comes to the ICT sector are mga ano lang, mga lahat mostly are kumbaga mga lalaki, but with the presence of Melanie Perkins and other successful women entrepreneurs, talagang kaya din po natin makisabayan sa ganitong mga industries. And just to ano naman po, give you an example of one of our successful women entrepreneurs here in Camarines Sur. If you're familiar, of course, the J. Emmanuel Pastries or the House of Pili, owned and founded by Miss Lydia Lumibao. So yan po nasa screen. Actually, si Ma'am Lyd, very inspiring po yung kanyang story kasi she's actually a corporate employee before venturing into this business of beauty products. So from a profit po, I mean, from a capital of 500 pesos, now po ang JM Manuel Pastries is actually a multi-million company here in Camarines Sur. Yung ating pong J. Emmanuel po is actually one of our largest exporter of pili products internationally kasi po they have kumbaga partners or sinusuplayan sa Japan and other European countries and in the US. So, kumbaga, kung kaya ni Ma'am Lyd na maging, kumbaga, mapag-grow ang kanyang business, kayang-kaya niya rin. So, I hope you get to be inspired by the story of Ma'am Lyd of J. Emmanuel Pastries. And of course, ito po, very quick na lang. So, for those who are into business, natin pong mga kababaihan na nanonood ngayon. So, I'll be quickly sharing with you all about entrepreneurship. So, ito po basically the definition of entrepreneur. So, makikita nyo po is talagang ang entrepreneurs are innovator, source of new ideas, goods, services, and business or procedures. And ang isa pong entrepreneur or individual who creates new business, bearing most of the risk and enjoying most of the rewards. Later on po, i-discuss ko po yung ating personal entrepreneurial competencies. And of course, you play a key role in any economy using the skills and initiative necessary to anticipate the needs and bringing good new ideas to the market. So why go to business and be an entrepreneur? So you also contribute to the social and economic impact. Of course, you contribute to the economic growth and development of the industry. We also utilizes and mobilizes resources, improves the quality of life, creates employment. It's more than just gaining profit or earning money, but more of creating employment. And of course, by being a responsible entrepreneur, you bring social benefits to the community, its people, and the government as well. So rewards po, you can be your own boss, unlimited opportunity to make money, tap your creativity, overcome challenges and feel fulfilled, and of course, helping others in the country as well. Aside from that, you can also build your entrepreneurial legacy. So, maipapasa niyo po yung negosyo sa inyong mga anak or sa inyong mga apo. Just like yung ating mga big companies here, like yung SM, na kahit wala na po yung talagang founder, na patuloy pa rin po yung kanilang negosyo. Yung risk naman po, of course, we have unpredictable business conditions. Nandiyan na po yung ating mga calamities. Of course, yung pandemic na hindi po natin inaasahan. And of course, unwanted or unexpected responsibilities, long hours of works, and possibility of failure. But of course, sabi nga niyan, we can never know unless we try. So we can take naman po moderate risk when it comes to venturing into business. So how do you start your business? So you do self-evaluation. Of course, ang question dyan, number 1, do you have what it takes to be an entrepreneur? So eto po, just to share with you, I'll be discussing the personal entrepreneurial competencies. So para po at least very comprehensive din po yung ating discussion. And at least po ma-evaluate niyo po yung sarili niyo kung ready na ba kayong mag-venture into business. Of course, number 1 is opportunity seekers. You seize and act on new business opportunities. Of course, you have to be very persistent. It takes repeated or different actions to overcome an obstacle. So, hindi lang po, pag hindi nag-work yung isang action niyo po to achieve a goal for your business, dapat po hindi po agad-agad kayo sumuko. Because you should take plan A to Z before before tayo talaga mag-shift into another. And of course, by being persistent, hindi na to maiwasan yung sometimes you make personal sacrifices, and you have to stick with judgment in the face of opposition or early lack of success. So kahit na po medyo risky talaga yung pagnenegosyo, you have to be very persistent and you have to believe in the business idea through the help as well of your kumbaga mentors, or you can also seek assistance like sa DTI po and other government agencies. You are committed to work, you accept full responsibility for the problems in completing a job for customers, and you pitches in with workers or their place to get the job done, expresses a concern for a satisfying customer. So dapat pag nagnenegosyo po tayo, very committed po tayo sa ginagawa natin. And sabi nga po niyan, we just don't satisfy a customer. Dapat po yung result natin are excellent. So dapat po yung customer natin are very satisfied with the output of our work. And of course, risk taker. So takes what he or she perceives to be moderate risk. States a preference for situation that involves moderate risk. Meron po tayong tinatawag na mga risk sa pagnenegosyo, but when it comes to venturing into new business, dapat po tansyado nyo din po yung risk, na nakikita nyo din po yung possibility of the success of the business. And of course, yung minimal po na failure risk ng inyong pagnenegosyo. Kasi sometimes po, swertehan din yung pagnenegosyo. Like, meron po kami mga example na hindi naman po nila talaga balak inegosyo yung isang tourist spot na ngayon, but due to public demand, nag-viral siya. So talagang nag-venture na sila into business and nakita nila talaga yung opportunity na mag-grow yung business. Although may risk yun kasi it was during the time of pandemic, but that business is still flourishing even up to this day. Demanding in terms of quality and efficiency, this is very important. You ask to do something that meets or beats existing standards or of excellence or improve a past performance. So sa pagnenegosyo po dapat talaga very innovative tayo. Kasi dapat po ang bilis lang ng trend sa negosyo. Like for example, when it comes to the wearable sector, yung fashion trend po actually can last only up to until 6 months. So dapat po continuous yung ating innovation when it comes to doing the business. So dapat po yung standard of excellence, sometimes dapat po natin, mas mahigitan pa to be on the top of the market. Also, you strive to do things faster and cheaper. Kung dapat po you explore strategy on how will you able to improve the operation of your business so that it will be faster yet cheaper without sacrificing the quality and efficiency of the business operations. Goal setters, of course, dapat po goal setter tayo. Dapat po mag-set tayo ng clear and specific short-term objectives. And of course, another naman po yung ating long-term goals. So dapat nagsiset po tayo ng SMART goals, no? Yung pag sinabi po nating SMART, it should be specific, measurable, attainable, time-bound, and realistic. Yung R is realistic. And for information seeker, dapat po information seeker ang mga negosyante. We personally seek information on clients, suppliers, and or competitors. Dapat you have to be on top of the game. So dapat po alam niyo yung mga information ng inyong mga possible clients, yung mga magagaling na suppliers, and of course, very important, you have to really know your competitors in the market. And you also uses contacts or information networks to be useful for your company. Systematic planning and monitoring develops and uses step-by-step plans to reach the goal. So since you already kumbaga plan your goals, dapat po you have to be very systematic when it comes to planning and monitoring on the steps that you will take in reaching the goals. And also you monitor the progress. And you also switch to alternative strategies when necessary to achieve goals. So, pag alam nyo naman po na hindi nag-work yung isang strategy nyo, you shift, di ba? Until you reach or achieve the goal for your company. Persuasion and networking is very important. So you uses deliberate strategies to influence or persuade others. So it's like marketing your company. And of course, you uses You use business and personal contacts to accomplish own objectives. And the most important part of the personal entrepreneurial competencies is the self-confidence. You should have a strong belief in self and own abilities, express confidence in own ability to complete a difficult task or meet a challenge. So tayo pong mga kababaihan or mga women in the field of entrepreneurship, we have to believe in our own abilities, and of course we really have to believe in our own products or services. Kasi the question is, how would other people believe in your product or company if you yourself hindi ka naniniwala sa product niya? So you should be the ambassador of your own product. So self-confidence is really important when it comes to doing this. Number 2 step on starting your business is environmental scanning. You do scanning for your competitors, strategic location, traits, and needs of the market. Yung demographics po ng inyong market. Number 3, you have to invest in your skills and technical training, knowledge on starting a business or upgrading your technical skills na binibigay po yun ng DTI. So if you're interested, you can visit our official page, DTI Camarines, for you to avail of our entrepreneurial skills and seminars. And of course, pag natapos mo na yung 1, 2, 3, you have to do product or service selection. You have to decide on what product or service you have to, you will be venturing in or offering to the market. Then after that, you need to prepare your business plan, wherein it will entail the marketing, production, management, and financial planning aspects of your business. And number 6, of course, very important po yung ating fund sourcing. So, of course, paano naman kayo makaka-start ng negosyo ng walang kapital? So, these are other sources of funds that you can up to avail of. We have the microfinance institution. Nandiyan na po yung ating mga commercial banks and micro-lending institution. From the government agencies, meron din po tayong financial assistance for our MSMEs. Sa DTI po, just to share with you, we have Small Business Corporation. So yan po yung aming financing arm na nagfa-facilitate po ng ating credit facilities and loan programs ng DTI. You can also look for investors that will be that will invest or be interested in the company that you're building. And meron din po tayong tinatawag na mga non-formal source. If the family, relatives, or friends can lend you some money to start your business, yan po yung pwede nating maging pang-start ng negosyo. Then the last one po, of course, before you can operate your business, you have to register your business. When it comes to business name, sabi ko po, pag sole proprietor or single proprietorship, sa DTI po tayo magpapa-register ng business name, partnership and corporation sa SEC, and cooperatives po sa CDA or the Cooperative Development Authority. When it comes naman po sa business permit and licenses, para po makapag-operate po kayo within a city or municipality, you have to secure your mayor's permit. And of course, for you to issue an official receipt, you need to register an authority to issue official receipt with the Bureau of Internal Revenue. And we also have other licenses, depende po sa sector na ng inyo pong negosyo. For example, sa processed food, to ensure the safety and that the company is compliance to good manufacturing practices, you have to secure your FDA permit. Then sa mga ICT, usually NTC. And eto po, how to register your business. Hindi na po ako masyado magdadwell into this one, but eto po yung ano po yung business name. So this is actually the business or legal identity of the company. It is, kumbaga, under the business name law na dapat po talaga magpa-register po tayo ng business name kung gagamit po tayo ng pangalan sa pagnenegosyo other than our true name. Ano po? It's under the Act 3883 that was, kumbaga, implemented last November 14, 1935. And why you need to register your business to have legal personality? Avoid inconvenience po yung magkakaparehas po yung pangalan. Kasi sometimes, baka po within the munisipyo, di ba? Meron isa dyan na hindi naman registered business and meron talagang isang registered. Parehas kayong product, parehas kayong business name. So, makukonfuse po yung inyong customer. So, to avoid this inconvenience, dapat po magpaparegister po kayo ng business name. And avail incentives and privileges like loan assistance, free training and seminars, and of course, exemptions and privileges such as the BMB. So very quick lang po yung contents ng ating application form. Ito po yung sinasabi ko sa inyong territorial or business scope. Yung pagbarangay po, sa DTI po ito ha, pagbarangay po yung sinelect ninyo, 200 pesos lang po yan, plus 30 pesos na documentary stamp, good for 5 years na po yan. Ang ibig sabihin lang po nitong scope is the establishment of your physical store. Ibig sabihin po, pag nag-establish kayo o nag-build kayo ng store or branch or manufacturing plant for your business, pag barangay po yung tig-select nyo, ibig sabihin, within that certain barangay lang kayo pwedeng mag-establish ng physical store. Pag city municipality naman po, anywhere in the city or municipality, pag regional naman po, for example, Bicol, anywhere in Bicol, pwede kayo maglagay ng branch. Pag national naman po, anywhere in the Philippines, pwede po kayo maglagay ng physical store, branch, or manufacturing plant or warehouse anywhere in the Philippines. Pero po, just to clarify, no, yung transaction nyo po is not limited to this territorial or business scope. Pwede po kayo magbenta or mag-transact ng business anywhere in the Philippines or even outside the Philippines. Yung territorial scope lang po, sa atin lang po mga physical building. Valid na po yan for 46 years. So, sobrang mura na po niyan if you're planning to venture into business. Kung 230 pesos or barangay lang, that's 46 pesos per year lang. So, sobrang mura ng ating registration fee. So, mode of registration, pwede po sa aming over-the-counter sa DTI Camarines Provincial Office, and of course, sa ating po mga negosyo, or pwede na po sa online. You don't need to go to our office or negosyo centers. Just visit bnrs.dti.gov.ph and registration policies, yan. Validity 5 years. Meron po tayo renewal grace period na 90 days from the date of expiration. Yan. And iwasan lang po yung ating mga penalties. Actually, very minimal lang din po yung penalty. Kasi ang ang tagal na po nung grace period na ibibigay ng DTI, just in case makalimutan yung mag-renew, it's actually 90 days or around 3 months. So I hope po within that period, makapag-register to avail of the penalty, which is just 50% of the scope registered. So ito naman po, mag-take effect siya from 91 days to 180 days. Ang kailangan lang po nating iwasan is after 180 days, that's almost 6 months, yung ating pong automatic cancellation. Pag hindi po kayo nakapag-renew within that period, automatic po, makakancel po yung name nyo sa DTI business name system, and pwede po yan magamit ng ibang negosyante if hindi nyo po na-renew. Then requirements, madali lang po, yung application form, valid government issued ID, and of course, the registration fee. If hindi po kayo yung magpa-file, authorization letter signed by the owner and valid government issued ID by the representative. Renewal po, same lang po yung requirements natin. And yan. And to end my presentation, I'm taking much of the time. I'm leaving everyone with this quote na an empowered woman empowers another woman. And of course, sabi nga natin, in this world full of diversity and ang dami pong nangyayari ngayon, be the change you wish to see in this world. So once again po, this is Madal Alcor of DTI Camarines Sur. You may contact me through this contact details that that I'm sharing on screen. And if you have any question, please do it so. Thank you very much for listening to my comprehensive discussion. Thank you very much, Miss Pearl.
All right, thank you so much, Miss Madel, for that discussion. And actually, I know that to all our viewers out there, you are inspired and you have known what are the necessary skills that you have so that you can be able to become an entrepreneur, just like what we have right now, Miss Madel A. Alacar. All right, so now let us give, before the question, I guess, let's give a round of virtual claps to, again, Miss Madel A. Alacar. All right, so now, is it okay, ma'am, if we go on now with some questions
Sure po,
after
sure.
that comprehensive discussion? All right, so the first question would be this one. What are some of the key benefits of having more women-led businesses, both for individuals and in society as a whole?
All right. So that's a very good question, no? Kasi, 'di ba, one of our, kumbaga, ano pa diyan, theme this Women's Month is gender equality, right? So, but with the presence of more leaders, like women, entrepreneurs leading a company, or even women leaders in our society, it's also, kumbaga, a reflection that, kumbaga, gender is not kumbaga, a hindrance when it comes to taking big roles to creating changes in the society through whether it's under entrepreneurship, whether it's under the political side or leading an organization. So it's really inspiring to know that actually it's currently happening now that more women are leading their own companies, their own organization, and it also creates an impact to our society by also kumbaga inviting or kumbaga this is also a proof that other women can also lead in their own simple ways. Actually, hindi naman po lahat ng women na uh, nasa top of their game, talagang ang dali nila yan, ang daling nakapunta diyan, right? So it takes a lot of learning, of course, experiences to be able to take that big role. But with the presence of women leading various industries in the society, kumbaga also inspires another women to lead in the future. So kumbaga walang hindrance when it comes to the gender. And it's just inspire other hindi lang actually women all gender in a society inspire mai-inspire pag halimbawa mas madami pang women ang mag-lead ng ating mga organizations.
Yes, thank you so much for that, Miss Madal. I totally agree that there's no genders. Like for example, in entrepreneurship, I guess there's no gender. But since we're trying to promote more of women's rights, and at the same time,
Yeah.
the participation of women right now, when it comes to entrepreneurship, it's very important that at least they will be inspired by this, for example, like this kind of activity that we are having right now. And yes, thank you so much for that. And another question I have here is that how can we encourage, or how can you encourage more women to pursue careers related to entrepreneurship? And what resources and support systems are available to help them?
All right. Actually, it was already presented earlier during my presentation. We do info dissemination campaigns to promote women entrepreneurship. In fact, most of our successful entrepreneurs being assisted by DTI Camarines are mostly women-led companies. We also have programs under the Great Women Project. Actually, yung Great Women Project, ito yung suot ko talaga today. Talagang minake sure ko na masuot ko to during the presentation. We have programs to support our women MSMEs. And of course, all of the mentioned programs and services that I was able to share with you earlier on, pwede pong ma-avail ng ating mga women entrepreneurs. And of course, we do specific programs for to empower our women entrepreneurs. And for example, when it comes to inspiring other women to venture into business, we also do feature successful women entrepreneurs in our various info dissemination platforms. Like for example, like I mentioned earlier, that I'm also one of the provincial public information officer of DTI. We do radio program episodes, and this month we were able to feature one of our woman successful entrepreneur here in Camarines Sur, Ma'am V, who shared their story, how she was able to have this company, ano yung mga struggles niya, and ano yung nag-inspire sa kanya na magpatuloy sa pagnenegosyo despite all of the challenges and odds that she was able to overcome over the years. So stories like this, programs like this, I know with much dedication when it comes to dissemination campaigns of our office, DTI Camarines Sur, we hope that more women entrepreneurs will be venturing into business. Kasi wag po kayong matatakot, nandito po ang DTI and other various government agencies to help you reach your business goal. So yan po, Ms. Pearl.
Okay, thank you so much. As I guess with this platform or with this activity, more women will be encouraged and be inspired to go through with entrepreneurial venture that they can think of right now or in the future. All right, and for the last question, since you are in entrepreneurship, so how did your advocacy empowered you as a woman? In general sense.
That's a very good question. Actually, with all honesty, I can say that with my exposure to various industries, specifically when it comes to business industry, I always say this, that I get to be inspired by the stories of our MSMEs. Kahit na kami sa DTI, we're assisting them, knowing the purpose, knowing the obstacles and challenges that they were able to overcome over the years, it really makes us more, kumbaga, value the work that we do, and it also inspire us to dedicate more of our, kumbaga, heart when it comes to serving our MSMEs, when it comes to rendering the service to our MSMEs. Actually, nakaka-empower din talaga to know such successful stories, heartwarming stories coming from our MSMEs. And it's actually kumbaga, a true story. Hindi siya yung from the concept of sharing just for the sake of kumbaga, just for the sake of sharing. It's actually coming from a true story from our MSMEs. And every time we get to hear the sharing or stories of our MSME, when lalo na po yung aming mga women entrepreneurs na, 'di ba, hindi madaling magnegosyo ang mga lalo na pag babae ka, lalo na pag may pamilya ka. It takes a lot of time management and, kumbaga, commitment to work just to accomplish all of these roles. Being a mom, being an entrepreneur, being a wife, being a child, all in one wrap. Ang dami talagang ginagawa ng mga kababaihan. But despite all of these roles that they are, kumbaga, they are performing in their everyday life, we get to be inspired by how they were able to manage to have the successful businesses, to manage both of their personal lives and the business. So kumbaga kami din, with this kind of stories coming from our MSMEs, talagang mas gagalingan pa namin. Kumbaga, it fuels our passion to serve the public. When especially our MSMEs. Yan po, ngayon ko lang siya naisip, but talagang yan po yung nafe-feel ko ngayon. And yan po talaga yung nafe-feel ko every time na na-inspire ako ng aming mga MSME. So I hope yung ating mga audience today will get to be inspired by another women entrepreneur na makikilala nyo in the future. And who knows, kayo na yung next na successful women or woman entrepreneur here in our province. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
All right, thank you so much for that, Miss Madel. I guess the audience right now are really inspired by the different stories that you have shared at the same time with the programs and activities that you have shared about the DPI. All right, so thank you so much again. Let us give a round of virtual claps to our third speaker, no other than we have Miss Madel Alacar.
Thank you very
so
much,
much.
Ma'am Pearl.
Thank you so
James, and
much.
of course, the I Love Aral team. Thank you. Happy Women's Month, everyone.
All right, so now we are down to our last session or last speaker for this afternoon. All right, and I guess he's also prepared and ready for this session. All right, and our last speaker for this afternoon is an empowered woman in technology. He is the External Affairs Director at Women in Technology and also an engineering student at UP Diliman and a youth entrepreneur and leader. So I guess there's a connection from our third speaker. And then she is also outgoing and friendly with strong motivation for results-focused strengths in communication and collaboration. She builds positive relationships and promotes products with innovative and forward-thinking approaches. Moreover, she has represented the Bridge the Gap program for forging the future of women talk with Kamala Harris, liaised for the ASEAN Data Explorers program, and addressed underrepresented women in Technology Batangas to CNN, the Wall Street Journal, and Philippine Inquirer. Let us give a big hand to Miss Isabel Abundacia. Hello, Miss Isabel.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. It's a great pleasure to be here po. Yeah, so, okay, I will share my screen. Okay, is my screen seen po?
Yes, Miss Isabel.
Okay. So yeah, hello everybody. Hello to the audience, and thank you so much again, Miss Pearly and I Love Aral for having me here today. And I'm so glad to be one of the panel of speakers for the I Love Women, event and program. So, of course, happy Women's Month to all, and it's a great time that we all come here together for all of us women. And I'm so lucky that I'll be able to speak here with all of you today. And so as well, all of you know, I am from VTech Batangas, and I will be introducing myself more later on in this presentation. So yes, before we start, I hope that everybody here is okay and doing well on this Sunday afternoon. But to introduce myself, it's really nice to meet all of you. And I can definitely say that it's a great pleasure po to be here. So I am the Externals Affairs Director of VTech Batangas. And since medyo pressed for time tayo, I will be shortening my presentation a little bit just to give you guys a glimpse of what we do here at VTech and how we advocate for women in technology. Okay, so you're all probably wondering why I am here and why all of us speakers are here to talk to you today. And of course, you guys know me from my name, but I am to help you get a bigger understanding of what I do for WeTech. I am, again, the I am from WeTech, and we have around 12 chapters across the entire world globally. And of course, we have around 11 events, programs, and even more here in the Batangas chapter, which I'll be talking about in a bit. So I am in charge of the inbound and outbound relationships with the other parties, be it organizations, enterprises, and government officials on the projects, partnerships, and representing WeTech as their spokesperson. But also, on the other hand, I am also a student. And yes, like Ms. Burley mentioned, for those listening, I am also from UP Diliman, and I am an engineering student over there. So shout out to all the future engineers. I hope you guys are doing okay this semester. But yeah, other than that, I am also a creator. I also love doing this as my hobby. I love content creating, and I love speaking to a lot of people. And of course, more than that, I am a learner, and I am here today not only to maybe talk to you guys, but also to learn from the other speakers as well. And it's a great opportunity for all of us to do so and to get some insights. So yes, moving on. So I'll be talking more about what WeTech is first and what we do in the Women in Technology. So of course, we are here to celebrate and represent all the women in the technology field today, especially the youth girls. And this is essentially what we advocate for. It's a youth-led nonprofit organization that aims to educate, inspire, and empower the youth to break through gender barriers and also to make a difference with science and technology. And we are also part of the YCLE program, which is the Young Southeast Asian Leaders Initiative program. And we have also worked with more than 120 plus young leaders across the ASEAN member countries. And as a chapter of the WeTech, we are officially registered as the Youth Women in Technology Incorporation, which are also linked to a global community of 26 chapters around the world. So first, one of our projects in the WeTech Batangas, one of the more prominent ones rather, is the Bridge the Gap program, which encourages girls to join the STEAM, which are the science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics program. So this one has actually won the first place at the 2021 YCT Summit Pitch Competition, and it consists of various interactive activities aimed to increase the interest of teens taught by female STEAM mentors. So this one, we have a lot of programs that we have worked with younger girls to encourage them so that they can maybe get into the STEM strands, and of course during college, maybe hopefully pursue a STEM related course. So the other one is WeCode. WeCode has also been one of our prominent projects. It's for us to educate young professionals through coding, and it's a partnership with Zuit Coding Boot Camp to conduct a 2-day free coding class for all aspiring web developers. So this is a great opportunity for us to work with a lot of young girls, maybe aged 15 to 30, who would like to learn more about coding, especially that we're entering a very wide range of new opportunities when it comes to technology now in the 21st century. So of course we have the WeCode, but also for the kids project. So it is more of a learning program to equip young elementary and high school students, regardless of their gender, social status, and of course with basic knowledge of technology. And the sessions consists of boot camps on basic coding with a hands-on teacher all throughout the process. So this is a great way for us to also teach even younger kids to get into coding and maybe find their interest in it too. So with this, the WeCode for Kids project is actually also placed first in the YCLE Futurepreneurs virtual pitching for the sustainability. So it gave the organization a huge grant to be used on the continuous improvement of the WeCode for Kids. So it is also placed as a top 10 initiatives selected during the Youth for South entrepreneurship competition organized by the United Nations Office for South-South Cooperation, making it the sole representative from Southeast Asia. So we also have We Teach tutorials. This one is also for partnership with the Taal National High School, which aims to TIE or TAI, which equips grade 8 and 9 students with the necessary knowledge in mathematics and current technology trends. And it also focuses on a group of 3 students on a 1-hour session basis. So this conducted once a week during Octobers to Decembers. And of course, we also inspire and spark interest of the students into taking up STEM courses. And lastly, we also engage and give students a glimpse of different STEM professions through this We Teach tutorials. So another one is also a We Talks 2020. We also host a sort of an episode featuring 4 successful women within the STEM industry. So we talk about the 2 SDGs, SDG 4, which is quality education, and also SDG 5, which is gender equality. So we definitely invite successful women in the industry, and we have a group of girls who listen and take inspiration from them. So we also have We Lead, which is a We Lead leadership training seminar. So this one is wherein we invite 3 resource speakers to share their knowledge and ideas on leadership, volunteerism, and project management to the members of WeTech Batangas. We Teach Live was also a program that we hosted back in May 2021, where WeTech Batangas broadcasts math and science lectures for junior high school students with the help of the volunteers of the We Teachers. And last, I believe, should be the outreach program in the 2021 Bayanihan sa Paaralan. So we have raised up to 12,000 pesos for students in the Isabelo Baleros Memorial Elementary School. And we have also gathered our members of the organization to donate school supplies and hygiene kits with the help of donation from generous donors. Oh yes, so this one talks also about the Girls in STEAM. And we have also faced our first face-to-face installment in the center, catered to the girls from the Bahay Parola Peace Home to empower and capacitate them with STEAM education. So these girls were children who experienced abuses and marginalizations at a young age. And we were able to, go do this in face-to-face. And then, of course, like I mentioned just now, we also had the conversation with the US VP Kamala Harris last November 2022. This was a great opportunity for me personally, and of course, for the entire VTech representatives to have a conversation on women forging the future. So this was an opportunity for us as members to be interviewed by various media outlets and outfits, and also regarding the VP Harris's sentiments and advocacy on strengthening women's rights, empowerments, equality, and rights. So these are a few of our documentation pictures, and it was definitely a great experience for all of us. Yeah. So recently, we also had a chance to speak with Congressman JP Abalos, who we were able to pitch our ASEAN Data Developers Program, wherein we were given the help and collaboration to host this program to all the Mandaluyong students. And of course, we're hoping to expand sooner or later to the entire Metro Manila, and of course, the entire Philippines, hopefully in a few months' time. But we just conducted our first pitching, and of course our first session last weekend actually with our students, which was a very, very great opportunity for all of us. So now that I've spoken more about WeTech Batangas, you're probably wondering what will I learn here today? So of course, it is important that you all are here today because I'm talking more about what it is to be a woman. And of course, with Month happening right now, it is important that we have a close relationship with one another in the community. And it brings me to point two, which is why you are special and needed in this world today. What makes you so important with the impact that you create in your society and community now, even if you're just as young or whatever age you are, it's all of us here should feel included, and which also makes us or brings me to point three, which gives us an opportunity to make change. And I'll be speaking more on how we can do that in our community and of course in even in our homes and in ourselves. And of course, last but not the least, is to build the strength within you, especially as a growing woman, and um, yeah, to encourage one another, basically. But yes, so next. So as you can see over here, we have a picture of the top, a few of the top 100 most powerful women in the world back in 2020. And of course, it just makes you think, what does it mean to be a woman? Does a woman mean someone has to be of power? Someone has to have a certain sort of dignity or impact on society. But from what I have realized at a very young age, it is important that no matter how little that we can sort of shed our talents, our resources, we can all create change little by little, no matter or regardless of our gender, of our social status, or whoever that we are. So yeah, so being a woman is definitely not an easy job, but it is not impossible to make change, meaning that we as women and even those who are watching here today, it is important that no matter who we are, it is not impossible to create change within us, to create change in our communities, in our homes, and in our families, and to support our women friends, even as simple as treating your mom or your sister. And it is very important that we are all knowledgeable of what we can do, and of course to expand and encourage those around us. So yes, this comes from I believe Little Women, and it's a really popular quote also on TikTok. Yeah, so how I love being a woman. So of course, I'm here to talk about how we can actually achieve equity and equality in society, especially to learn to advocate for women's rights. It is important that we are knowledgeable on the different ways that we can help, despite, those opportunities around us, especially with signing petitions. There are a lot of petitions out there for small and new ideas to make society easier for women as in comparison to other genders. And it is important that we can utilize these opportunities to maybe encourage these sort of ideas and to push these different laws for our society and government so that we can have and find more equality in our society, which brings on to me advocating by joining a movement or a purpose. It is important that we feel free to join organizations or campaigns that you're passionate in. It doesn't necessarily have to be women related or in encouragement of women, but no matter what you're passionate in, it is important that we do that and we find that sort of interest and how we can promote that with the people around us and to make yourself feel happy and enjoyable. And of course, is to encourage other girls in your community and schools to also to encourage them and to feel like they belong into a community, because it's really important that no matter where we are, especially in my situation, it is more common that there are guys in my class that in the engineering field. So I really do appreciate girls who stick together during different situations, be it in my field or other fields that are more male dominated. And I feel like a lot of us girls, not only my age, even younger or older, we all experience or may experience the same situations. And I feel like we can definitely do that if we all work together and are as one. So yeah, for me specifically in WeTech, I advocate for promoting more women and girls to pursue STEM. We also provide access to learners to indulge more into the STEM related subjects. And of course, we advocate to be more inclusive of women in the social, corporate, and even educational space. I feel like it is very common to also talk about how we can feel more included in a corporate and educational space, since like I mentioned, there are a few fields that require more women to be a part of, so that we can all feel more included, and also to feel like we are part of a bigger purpose. And I feel like that we can also encourage other people in my community, and especially in my personal life, I definitely try my best to speak up during mistreatments and stand up against unjust decisions or treatments towards women, and of course to find purpose to help both to feel important and loved equally. And yeah, so I'm not so sure if you all are still here, but if you can, it would be really nice to write down 3 things that you love about yourself. You can just scan the QR. If you just want to add it later, you can just take a screenshot of this slide, and you can definitely write down 3 things that you love about yourself, because we are moving on to point number 2. And for me personally, the 3 things that I love about myself would be my selflessness, ability to carry myself and be independent, and of course the constant growth and love. And I feel like for all of you here, we can definitely find something that we love about ourselves. And yeah, so my question actually is, why is it important that we know what you love about yourself? It's important that we find a deeper meaning of who we are, and you don't have to always constantly know what you aspire to be, what you want in life, but sometimes all we have to do is to take a moment and to figure out what we ourselves, what we appreciate about who we are, and how we can give that and show that to the other people around us. So yes, it is important to know your worth. That is one thing that I can give as my sentiment. And even if sometimes you feel like you may be wavering in who you are, it is important to at least know your value and your value that can bring to the world to make change. So now moving on to the next part, we have opportunities for you to make change. Some of you may ask, why? So how can I do it? And when can I start? So I feel like these can be a few good options for all of you to maybe start in your community, your homes, and even in yourselves. And my first suggestion would to, of course, understand how society is treating your fellow women. You have to check up on them too, because I feel like there are a lot of people who are underlooked, and despite who they are, it is important to check up on the people that you love, especially during times when you can't really visit them. For example, in the past years, I figured that it was in a very important way to always look out for those people around you. And of course, is to build and encourage and spread women-faced issues and awareness amongst your people. There are a lot of issues out there that has still yet to be given more attention. And of course, we can all feel this in our daily lives, be it on a more microscopic basis, wherein it's what you personally went through, what your best friend went through, and I feel like, or what on a bigger scale, what a lot of women in society has been through. There's always a way that we can spread awareness about these. And of course, in your community, lastly, you can always utilize our platforms to encourage others to provide support for women movements. This can always be done through social media, even as simply as liking or sharing women posts or women movements that we can definitely support and that you're passionate about. We can always do that even just through our screens. So with homes, it is also important that we understand how we can treat the people around us with love and kindness. And of course, especially those you treat as your home. So these can be your family members, your friends, your best friends, even your relatives. It's important that we always find a way to spread love and kindness towards them. And of course, when you feel unsafe or disrespected, you have to do a way to kindly talk to them, reason out your thoughts, be it verbally, emotionally, mentally, or physically. When you feel as if that you have no one to talk to, always reach out to places that you can, outlets you can talk to. There are a lot of free services out there, and I feel like we can definitely find that not only in our homes, but there are a lot of people who are offering it as well. And lastly, for homes, we can always step up, for ourselves as a leader, and don't be afraid to speak up for yourself. So I feel like it is not easy for all people to definitely speak up, and be it with issues with your own personal lives, or maybe just a lot of societal issues that are happening today. Even I myself, I still find it difficult to maybe talk to the people around me about things that I don't feel comfortable about, or maybe reason out my thoughts. But sooner or later, it is important that we learn how to grow and to kindly speak to those people that you feel like you can make improvements or change on in regards to your friendships and relationships, etc. And of course, to yourself, it is also really important to find purpose and chase it, because I feel like a lot of us here have dreams, have hopes for our futures, especially not necessarily just for, the young girls and youth of today, but also for your personal lives, your personal dreams. It is important that you find that purpose, that passion, and then you choose to chase it for yourself. And of course, we have to allow yourself to take breaks and give yourself a pat on the back. I feel like we tend to overlook that we to ourselves have a lot going on, and it is important that we take time to reflect, to breathe, and of course to tell yourself that you're also proud of yourself, because it is important that we understand that we all deserve rest, we all deserve love and adoration, even if it's just coming from within you. And lastly, even if you think that it is not for you, you have to brave yourself to find out. Not everybody has a risk taker personality, but I myself believe that if you don't try things, you wouldn't know. And even if you feel like from the start that things aren't for you, maybe sometimes you have to brave yourself and you have to take the leap to find out, because I feel like that is one of the most important things about knowing more and learning more about life, be it for yourself only or for the entire society. Yeah. So that's how a few ways that we can do to also help in the opportunities in change and making change, not only in a bigger scale, but even in our own selves. And of course, is to last but not the least, is to build strength within you. I'm not just speaking this as a woman or as a girl from or as a girl. I'm talking to every person here who feel like you've been finding it difficult to build strength within you, because I know that there's a lot of things going on and around the world right now. It is not easy to take everything in, but sometimes we have to build that strength and to find that um, sort of motivation to feel as if that we ourselves can still work together as one to create a better tomorrow. So how do you consider someone strong? Is it, the the leaders that you saw just now in the pictures, or maybe your mom, your dad? So I feel like this is a time for us to reflect on how we can consider someone else strong, because we can definitely use that to take inspiration from and to build ourselves as well. Yeah, so of course, to ask yourself, are you strong? It's important to take time also to reflect on yourself and to ask how how are you doing and what can you do to help yourself feel stronger. And I feel like all of us are definitely growing that strength each day, and I'm very, very proud of everybody. So for me, that is what it means to be a leader, a woman leader. What it means for you may be different, but for everybody, or for our women leaders here today, who are serving our country, who are serving our world, and doing their parts to make everything feel better, I feel like we have a few sort of attributes that we can look into. And the first is to be authentic. I feel like it is important that not only for women leaders, but also for ourselves, we have to find the importance of being authentic, not only to other people, but also to those people close around us. So to be truthful as well, we always have to feel honest. And even as a sort of leader myself in my organization in Women in Technology, it's important that we give transparency to those around in my organization. Yeah, so to my org mates, and of course to those people that I'm talking to for what I do, yeah, inside WeTech. So the next is to be collaborative. It is important that we learn how to work with people, be it whoever we work with, be it with a different age, ethnicity, religion, gender. No matter what, we always have to find a way to find a common ground between one another, and to always collaborate well, to learn from each other, to learn different thoughts, insights, perspectives, and of course, to find a way to always do our part in understanding each other. And last but not the least, we have be decisive. I feel like a lot of decisions in our world today are mostly made by the more dominant gender. And I feel like we are definitely underestimated a lot because of that. And as women, I feel like we also have the capability to be decisive and to feel like we can make big decisions too. And like I said, this is not only for those people who feel like only big leaders are allowed to make big decisions, but also for decisions within yourself, within your friendships, within your studies, your work, or whatever you're doing. We all make decisions each day, and I feel like what's important is that we take charge of that and we empower that gift that we have of making our own decisions and feeling like we are meant to do so. So yes, to wrap up my presentation, I would just like to say that if there's one thing I've learned in life is the power of using your voice. This is by Michelle Obama. She was the past first lady. So she is the one who said this, and I feel like it really struck a chord with me, especially being a young girl in society today. I feel like it is hard for us to not only use our voice but to understand where we can use it. And I feel like we can always start with our communities and maybe later on venture out into doing greater things with our voice in society and to taking those thoughts, ideas into action. And yeah, that is all. I just want to wish everybody a happy Women's Month. And thank you so much once again for inviting me. And yes, I hope everybody has a great Sunday ahead.
Yeah, congratulations. Thank you so much, Isabel, for sharing your inspiring story along with the WITEC Batangas in empowering the youth and girls, young girls, when it comes to technology. So I know that our listeners today are more inspired to be a woman like you when it comes to technology, and at the same time in your personal sentiments that you have shared with the audience or with our listeners. I know that they have learned a lot from you. All right, so at this juncture, can we have now our question and answer portion? All right, so now for our first question. I have here this question. So, how has the representation of women in technology evolved over time? And what can be done to promote greater gender diversity and inclusivity in the field, especially that right now we are celebrating Women's Month with the theme embracing quality and equity.
Yeah, I feel like as we all know, there are a lot of women leaders or women inventors that we had in the past, especially, talking about in the technology field. There are a lot of women who have invented a lot of things and did not even get credit for it. And actually, recently I saw a commercial by a car company um who had me thinking on my seat because realizing that a lot of the car parts cannot seem to function because most of it were created by women. And I feel like a lot of the aspects through the times we don't we are it's very much underlooked. People don't really give much credit to women who invented things, especially in the technology field or engineering field where it's mostly male dominated. And I feel like right now today I'm very lucky to be part, of a generation wherein women or girls feel very included, feel very much inclusive when it comes to the equity or that they bring into a project or maybe into their sentiments when it comes to technology. And I feel like it's definitely being more respected now, which I appreciate and I observe. And I feel like we can definitely do more. Relating to the latter part of the question, I feel like with our projects with WeTech, it has been one of the more bigger stepping stones for myself personally on what I can do, especially in the technology field, in helping the girls of tomorrow so that they can feel as if it will be easier for them during their time when they enter into the workforce or even just in like an educational space. The fact that we have these programs, or a lot of them actually, not just WeTech today, with regards to programs that are more focused in technology, in mathematics, and basically in STEM. And I feel like we can definitely do more in creating more programs and accessibility for girls today. And with that, we can also sort of find a community of people that we can look out for, especially in regards to what they want to pursue in the further future. So yes, I think we can relate that as well to our personal lives, those values that we have of camaraderie and community building. Mhm.
Okay, thank you so much for that. And I'm happy, actually, you're happy with I Love Aral that you're able to share also the different programs and even accomplishments of the WeTech Batangas. So I guess we can be able to have collaboration for our future programs
Yes,
because
yes, of
we are, yeah,
course.
because I think we have the same visions when it comes to encouraging more women, especially children and the youth, when it comes to technology.
Yes.
All right, so thank
Yeah.
you so much for that. And also, I have here the next question. So, what are some of the most exciting trends and opportunities in technology that women should be aware of, and how can they position themselves for success in these areas?
I feel like when it comes to a lot of the different aspects, especially in the workforce now, I feel like they're very more inclusive of women inclusivity when it comes to where we decide to maybe in schools even. Yeah, we have a lot of platforms now in our social medias, in our yeah, different platforms wherein there are a lot of women-based organizations that encourages these advocacies for women in technology. Yeah, and especially for I'm really appreciative of like a lot of companies, a lot of schools nowadays who provide more access to this, and for schools as well and government officials who provide their resources for uh tablets, for example, so that we can conduct our programs. And I feel like a lot of women can definitely join in on this advocacy of building a more sustainable and more inclusive community of people, of women or of girls in technology, and even of children as well with your organization. So I feel like there's a lot of and great spaces for them to sort of feel included in this community of people. And we can always find that through encouraging one another in social media, or even just different programs that happens even virtually, like this one. Yeah.
Yes, that's true. And for all our listeners, I just hope that they can be able to be inspired by you, for example, to at least they will also feel themselves so that they can be able to amplify their voices and at the same time create impact in their own communities. All right, and I guess we're down for the last question that we can have for this afternoon. So, what are some of the key trends and challenges facing women in specific areas of technology, such as, like, for example, cybersecurity or artificial intelligence?
Mm-hmm. I cannot speak on this on a technical term, but I feel like let's say women working in teams, it hasn't been really easy for them to sort of indulge in a team or a workforce that encourages more women to impart sort of ideas or technical terms into projects when it comes to technology, such as what you mentioned, cybersecurity and AI. But I feel like it has been somehow better than before, that they feel more included when it comes to these trends that are happening right now. And I feel like it can furthermore be improved as we maybe sign encourage more companies or encourage more workplaces and schools, starting from schools especially, to encourage the more to encourage more and amplify this community of women, especially in the workplaces, for them to impart more ideas into these new technologies coming up in the future. Yes, so we can, yeah.
Yes, that's I totally agree. I mean, when it comes to the generation that we have right now and the present opportunities that we have also today, I guess more women will be more encouraged to participate or to um, be involved with this kind of initiatives involving this technology, like for cybersecurity and for AI. And I guess with this kind of platform and with some of other related activities, this would also help the young girls, teens, women, to at least start how are they going to empower themselves and ask or be inspired by some of other women who are successful already. All right, so anyway, I guess there will be no further questions, and I'm really happy to have you, Isabel. And for that, let us give a virtual clap to Isabel Abundancia. And also sorry for my background noise that we have here. Thank you so much, Isabel. And regards to Miss Sarah. Ito, Sarah.
Yes, thank you as well.
Thank you so much. All right, and I guess that's a wrap of our session for this afternoon about hashtag I love Aral. I love women webinar for as we celebrate the International Women's Month this March. All right, and of course to our audience, don't forget that you can still watch this webinar because this is a recorded one. So you can just go to our I Love Aral YouTube page and then watch this session all over again so that you can be able to be more inspired, and at the same time you get to know a lot of successful stories and inspiring stories for you to be able to make a difference in our communities, right? And of course, as we end this hashtag I love women webinar, let me just give you that, at least I'm really hoping that with this kind of program of I Love Aral, this activity or event sparks renewed commitment to the advocacy of embracing diversity and inclusivity to achieve a gender equal world for a better tomorrow for all. As we conclude this webinar, let's continue empowering women during this month and beyond. Okay, so happy Women's Month to all women in the world. And this is me, Miss Espirida, signing off. Thank you so much.